Alrighty, welcome to the grand finals for King of the Desert 4 here between Vinchester in the purple. Are we going to keep him purple? I think that will be fine for the set. Vinchester in the purple and the Viper, of course, in the yellow, as you can see. I mean, this has been a long time working up towards. Vinchester and Viper were both invited players, and they fought their way through the qualifying round of 32, through the group stage, then through the playoffs to meet each other in the finals here. As Vinchester coming forward there to lame some goats for the Viper, and Viper not very happy about that. Vinchester trying to take the hill here with his scout as well. Now, Vinchester is Mongols. That's something that we should immediately note, because that means he has more line of sight, as you can see on a scout. If you compare it to Viper's line of sight, it's much less. And of course, it also means he has an incentive to come forward and lame his opponent. So Viper is probably going to stay around this Rhino now. It's going to make sure that Vinchester cannot lame it, because Mongols, they can get some hunt from you. They will definitely want to get hunt from you. They, of course, take that hunt much faster than any other civilization, so it allows you to get crazy uptimes. Vikings, though, Viper has gone for Vikings, though. Man, there's so many V's on the map right now, I'm getting confused. Nah. Get a sip of water. There we go. That's better. Yeah, but Vikings, very strong civilization as well, despite them not having Thumbring anymore. That doesn't mean they are not an imposing civ to work with. So we'll see how this matchup is going to go. This means that, you know, it's going to be an interesting matchup in a mid-game, especially. You know that Mongols will get, as the villager kind of blocking a Viper's Ville there. Mongols in the mid-game, right, get, in the early game, get a huge bonus because of that early hunt. You know, they get up much faster than any other civilization. They are able to go for a much faster rush of any sort, really, especially a scout rush, which is a very fast build. But in the mid-game, Vikings will have wheelbarrow, they will have handcart, their economy is going to be significantly better than the Mongol economy, especially because the Mongol economy kind of reaches a slump in the mid-game, having no eco bonuses whatsoever. This is kind of the stereotype, right? So in that time, Vinchester will have to find a way to keel over, basically, you know, to hold himself over until he can get to some stronger options in the late game, because the longer the game goes, the better it gets for Mongols option-wise. You know, and Vikings, yeah, they don't have as great as archers here. It's, ooh, Viper wants to block this villager. Villager's downhill from the Rhino as well, taking 2 hits already. 2 more hits, and the villager might go down here. Vinchester is going to save the Ville, though, and gets to the Rhino. And thank God he didn't garrison that villager in the TC, because you're likely to shoot your Rhino that way. Best to save the Ville and hope for the best. Yeah, as Viper has brought in the second Rhino as well, so there will be no more laming beyond the 2 sheep, the 2 goats that Vinchester stole, and that is about it. That's a bit of extra food. That's quite nice as well. Now, looking at the maps for the 2 players here, if you want to have a look at that, you can see that Vinchester has a back gold here. It's in the shape of an H. Ooh, it's a Vinchester with an H in there. He only needs, it could spawn in a V, conceivably. Technically, you could always spell out Vinchester's name probably with gold. That'd be kind of funny. Anyways, H, I like that. Gold in the back, though, on a hill, that's kind of tricky. That is certainly kind of tricky there, so it means that he should probably wall between the edge of the map and his wood line over here. For the rest, doesn't have that big of wood lines. If you look at the wood lines, they're quite small on the average here, especially this one with the oasis in it. Berries are forward for him. You got a forward secondary gold, and then the other secondary gold is right out here. That is very far away, right in between Viper and his base. So that means it's going to be a hotly contested. Players indeed are quite close together, as you can see. They're not that far apart in this particular Bravia generation. It could be worse, but they're not that far apart, that's for sure. Of course, with Mongols, you also need to know where the stone is, because Mangudai should always be on the menu as Vinchester clicks up at 19 pops. So not an extraordinarily fast Mongols build, but still a pretty fast one at that. And there's stone in the back of Vinchester, basically going to be happy with that. Now, I should think it is a scout opening for Vinchester. He's not making any militia right now, so that's probably what. Although, did he get 2 extra gold? I think he did. I think, no, he is on gold. So he is on gold, so it's not going to be scouts for Vinchester. I was already thinking, because that's 10 extra gold. That means someone collected gold, because otherwise it would be 50, right? Because you got loom. Viper, though, let's see what Viper is going for. Viper's not drushing. He's probably just going to go straight into archers. He's not making men-at-arms either. Yeah, so I should think it's straight into archers for him. He's going to wall up the left of his map a little bit more. You look at Viper's woodline. He has one giant woodline at the front, one on the side, and this one is barely a woodline at all. I don't think it even qualifies as a woodline. There's, you know, it's clumps of wood. If Atacama doesn't have woodlines, then nor is this a woodline, really. Yeah, you can still use it a little bit to wall, but the right side of Viper's base is largely open. It's largely open. I should imagine that he will probably expand a little bit to the left. There's a lot of pawns that he has over here, which is unfortunate for the Viper. That means a lot of his wood lines are not fully formed, whereas Vinchester has more wood on his side, as you can see. That's a slight map win there for Vinchester. Slight map win there. And Vinchester still has pawns on his side of the map, but they're all forward, and he's not going to take those wood lines anytime soon anyways. The archer range goes down here for the Viper at 21 pot. There's a pretty good uptime right there. Vinchester also building a blacksmith already. He's getting his own archers out, and it will be a micro war now between the players. As Viper is hanging around, seeing if he can maybe snipe an archer, but Vinchester also made a spearman to push away that first scout from the Viper. And I don't think Viper is going to make many more scouts, in all honesty. Viper, I mean, he has walled off a little bit of his map. The reason why he walled this particular part of the map is because his main goal is right there. It's forward after all. And that is, of course, where Vinchester is probably going to target his aggression. Another goal for Viper is right next to it. And then the last goal he has in the back of the base. So at least there's an option there, but it's still very far out in the open. Not that safe. As the first archer for Vinchester makes its way forward, though. I think got hit by a lion, I think. Maybe. Or something. I mean, 5 hits. That might also be an enemy scout. And whoops, oops, my bad. That was not what I was intending to do there. And again, Vinchester making it into the woodline here for the Viper. Viper has not responded to it yet. Of course, now responds to it. Trying to run with the villager. Villager's on a lot of HP right now. Viper, I mean, trying to get away, but got blocked by his own units, and Vinchester's not going to find any damage with that, with this first archer army. Bringing in a scout, though, that could definitely swing things in his own favor. With the scout getting an archer now. Now, that is value. That is value right there. If Villager's kind of stuck in the woodline now, Viper's going to have to run away with that. But remember, wheelbarrow, his villagers walk faster. As Vinchester's bringing in some more archers, one on the other side to just be, well, harassing a house, I guess. As he's still fighting on the flip side here. But still, one archer as Viper's bringing in more skirmishers to defend. Vinchester is bringing forward more archers as well, though, so the numbers will steadily increase. Also has a nice hill to sit upon, you know, and fight the Viper from. For the Viper likely to go down here for the Vinchester. I mean, yeah, Vinchester scout about immediately goes down as well. Tried to snipe the archer. That would have been really nice in order to get that archer. Vinchester losing an archer now himself to the skirmisher mass for the Viper. And despite the Viper not having any archer armor upgrade just yet, still it's dangerous for Vinchester to hang around here and lose his archers like that. As for Viper scout, I think Viper scout. Where did Viper scout go? Must have died somewhere. I'm not seeing it on the map anywhere, so I think Viper Scout went down somewhere else as well. But I got sniped by an archer, maybe. And so we have more of a little engagement over here, but yeah, Viper has more military on the field right now, pushing Vinchester's mass away, and Vinchester about to lose 2 archers there. Really nice snipes there for the Viper as he's pushing forward towards Vinchester's base. He's about to finish up his berries here. It's only 31 food, so that's not a whole lot left. So that's depleted. Probably abandon the berries now. Berry bush will act as a temporary wall for now. So this army for Viper cannot get into Vinchester's base. Vinchester is walling off the right side. This is exactly how I suggested to wall. So yeah, that's good. That's a good wall up right there. I like that. That's good. And will force most of Viper's aggression to the left here, as you can see, where he will have to meet Vinchester's army, which will be on this hill, as you can see as well. So this benefits Vinchester, who can also reinforce with his archer range and a stable that Viper has not seen yet. Viper hasn't seen the stable yet, and of course Mongols can always add that. Their cavalry has more line of sight. It's fairly easy to do. Viper instead has added another range, so he will be going for some more ranged units of his own, as he's getting housed right now. So instead, it's getting town watch. Instead of getting a villager. Might as well here, as Viper is. I mean, I'm not sure if he was waiting for Vinchester to finish that berry bush, but yeah, there's 10 food on that. Vinchester might not even return to that, honestly. It's only 10 food. Barely worth it. That's his scouts now coming out. Again, did Viper see the stable? Still did not see the stable, so he's going to be surprised by the scouts that come forward now. Vinchester coming forward, and now Viper sees more than one scout. Already killed one, so he knows that their stable must be up. And now Vinchester, with some nice scout push, might get some momentum switch here. Viper is not going to run with these skirmishers, trying to get as much value from them as he can. Kills an archer for Vinchester, but in the end still loses 3 skirmishers. And Vinchester now will be able to push forward again. As, we have an archer army in the back of Vinchester's base as well. Villagers are going down to that as well. So the first kill of the game here for the Viper. As the scouts are being sent back to deal with this. But of course the Viper, who did not make a single scout, is up to the castle age well before Vinchester will be. Vinchester will get there eventually as well, but still has to deal with this aggression in the back of his base. Has sent his army forward now to deal with Viper's army at the front here. Gets most of Viper's army as well. This is a good fight for Vinchester. Despite still having to deal with this archer army in the back now. Can put some pressure on the Viper before the Viper makes it to the castle here. Some farms will have to be abandoned here. There's still some wood lines that can be ranged as well. Yeah, this could still do some damage to the Viper here if he's not careful. Of course, Vinchester still has to deal with his archer army in the back of his base. Is sending more skirmishers out and is dropping a market to buy himself up to the next stage. Wouldn't surprise me if he maybe sells a stone. Or, no, actually just buys the food. There's the gold for it. As, a villager for Viper. And Viper quick walls the villager in, because of course he does. Of course he does. Look at the quick wall there for Viper. Immediately saving that bill. From the scouts, not from the archers though. Quick calls out to scouts. Oh, it is so funny. Oh, Viper, Vinchester really wants that villager. He really wants to kill, and he does it again. He does it again. Jesus Christ, this dude, man. This is just so classic Viper right there. Quick walls and saves the vill, and Vinchester still doesn't get it and loses a lot of HP on his scouts as a result of that. Man, wow, what a play from him. And Vinchester's probably going to have to abandon Viper's base now. And at the same time, Viper did lose his archer army in the back of Vinchester's base. But honestly, after killing 2 villagers and then miraculously saving this village over here. I mean, I thought it was dead. If it were my villager, it definitely would be dead. But he saves the villager and therefore, again, Eco KD is still 0-2 in favor of a Viper. Vinchester also losing a bunch of his scouts now to the archers, and Viper is looking strong, looking to push forward here with some crossbows, and this is when Vikings start to get very dangerous, when Vinchester does not even have wheelbarrow yet, and his economy is just significantly less efficient than Viper's economy is. Now the question is, what is Vinchester going to do here? If he's going to stick with skirmishers for now, is he going to try to switch into Mangudai? Is he going to try to switch into crossbow or cavalry archers? What is the plan here? I'm not quite sure yet, but he's going to have to make up his mind soon, because Viper is looking to push in here with a very strong crossbow force. Not a force you'd want to let into your base, but there's not much that Vinchester can do about it. Vinchester is going to try to wall towards this DC here to avert to stop this force from making it in. Sold some stone as well, so clearly wants to get some gold out for the upgrades that he needs, because he didn't quite have the resources for it. Elite skirmisher upgrade coming in as well, something he desperately needs right now to hold off these crossbows, and Viper's gonna leave. Yeah, it's looking really good. Looking really good for the Viper. Remember, don't be fooled though, because the score is still very close. Vinchester didn't lose that many villagers comparatively, but of course, remember, he's technically 5 villagers behind, because the moment he gets wheelbarrow and handguard, that's 5 villagers of research time right there, and he's not gonna get those upgrades anytime soon. So it's and in the meantime, that means that Viper's economy is going to be much more efficient than Vinchester's is. As Vinchester is going to have to defend himself with some elite skirts of Viper. He's going to save his archers and just move right back home. Drops a siege workshop at his own town as well. Got ballistics right now on his crossbow, so he can take more, better engagement at least. And with some siege coming out to deal with the skirmishers which are coming forward. Vinchester definitely not too shy to send his army forward to the front to meet the Viper, as you can see. Here we go. Here we go with Viper about to pop out with a Scorpion. And here comes the Scorpion, and boop. There you go. Wow, even a nice diagonal shot there. As Viper is is taking the hunt here right now, even getting the last scout from Vinchester as well. As the Scorpion and the Archers, yeah, they're going to be able to push this away. I mean, should be able to push this away. Vinchester, no ballistics for him just yet, so he can't easily kill these crossbows to fight for micros. Yeah, but the Scorpions are actually much they're better at pushing away skirmishes than any other unit is, honestly. As the Viper has gone to 3 town centers, he's going to go for a castle as well. Look at the villages on stone. He's adding his farming economy, and the economy is starting to look really good. Fast input Vikings is definitely a very big possibility. Vinchester at the same time dropping a TC. Try to drop it on the stone and the wood line because this hill makes that impossible. But unfortunately, it's going to have to be a suboptimal TC for now. Lion not cooperating either as the Scorpion chases away these skirmishers. At the same time, though, Vinchester coming forward with some more archers, but they're not crossbows just yet, so they're not that strong. As we have an overchop in the wood line, Viper reacting to it instantly and saving his villagers as a result. Is he even going to lose a single villager there? Might lose a village if he doesn't pull it away. One villager goes down there for Vinchester. Remember, these archers might just be archers, but they do have botkin arrows, so they kill villagers significantly faster than normal feudal age archers would. Crossbow now coming in for Vinchester as well, which will give them extra attack and range. You know, it's kind of important to have, obviously. As yeah, Vinchester, oh, deletes the mangonel, but does not land a hit here, kind of in between the mangonel and the crossbows for the Viper. He's going to back up to his own hill now, shoots. Viper is going to get a shot in as well on the mangonel. Scout coming forward for Vinchester there, gets hit in the face by the mangonel shot. Very nice for Vinchester, and Vinchester still on the back foot. It's 50 to 73 villagers. Man, I mean, this is just classic Snake here, right there. It's just sitting on a 3 town center boom and you not being able to punish him. That's the key. That's the key. You need, like, that's what he does. That's what the Snake does. Making sure you can't punish him. As he's going to try to go for a split. Viper losing 1 crossbow only to the mangonel. It's looking so good for the Snake right here. The mangonel, well, the lead, I guess, from Viper or Vinchester shot it. In either case, Vinchester being pushed off of this first hill has to go to the second hill, but if he loses control of this hill, now that is a problem. At the same time, some archers hitting the wood line on the right side. This wood line is not particularly safe, and Viper knows exactly where to hit. It's just looking... It's not even looking close right now. It's not even looking close. 4 military on the field here for Vinchester. 54 villagers for him, with 82 vills for the Viper. And Vinchester going to stone right now. He wants to get a castle up, probably on this hill to defend himself. But now you have to defend yourself downhill as the mangonel goes down to the shot from the Viper, who is happy to control this forward hill here, besieging Vinchester from every side. And this Vinchester just being smothered by the pressure from the Snake right here. Viper looking good, and Viper probably looking to take game 1 as well, as now, and this is all on schedule. Viper has been on stone to do this. Look at the resources climb at the same time. He's going to come forward with villages now to drop a castle, and there you go, a forward castle on a beautiful hill in front of Vinchester's base, denying his gold, his production buildings, a TC, lots of farm space, and if this castle goes up, I think this will be GG. As Vinchester is, yeah, fighting a Scorpion with villagers, but that's of course not ideal as well. I just don't know if Vinchester will be able to defend himself here, as he's trying to kill this mangonel, but of course it's uphill, so it's really difficult to do. Viper's going to repair that as well. Of course he is. Castle will go up, and once that goes up, what do you do at this point as Vinchester? And Vinchester says, I call GG, and Vinchester's like, nope, this is not possible anymore. First game going to the Viper, and a very strong performance for him. And like, at no point did it look like he was in serious trouble over here at his own base. Like, Vinchester did go for counterattacks, but I mean, look at that, 1 eco kill. This is classic Snake. You just sit in, you sit in your base, you get a great economy going, using your speed to get your macro, to macro around, get your economy rolling, so you can have enough resources to boom into an army. At the same time, making enough army to stop your opponent from doing damage to you, basically, and making it impossible to punish what you're doing. As Viper almost completing the castle. Wow, 99.92%. That's not a whole lot. 1 more second and it would have been a castle. But yeah, that said, Vinchester's going to have to make this a lot more messy if you want to overcome the snake. Yeah, definitely so, because Viper has looked strong most of this tournament, you know, save for a certain round of 32 game that we have, of course, talked about at length, because it was amazing. It was an awesome set. But yeah, but since then, Viper has been dominating his opponents, absolutely dominating his opponents. Like, the snake is back. The snake is back. The snake has never really left. But I mean, Viper is still in top form. Definitely is still one of the best, if not the best, Age of Empires player in the game still, despite the little rough patch that he had in the last year and a half or so. You know, still proving once and again that he is right up there among the top two in the world. You know, easily making it to finals in of major tournaments as well. That just has to be said, you know, because I mean, I read forums, I read what people say sometimes when they're like, the era of the snake is over. You know, I don't think it's. I mean, it's not like that Viper is dominating as much as he did like say 5 years ago, because it really was domination then. But he is still a very different, tough opponent to deal with, and Vinchester is going to have to pull out all the stops to overcome the Viper here. You know, that's at least that's his plan there, which I'm sure it is. We have better KD there for Viper. So not only was he not making making about the same amount of military here as Vinchester, the advice that he took were significantly better overall. Looking at the economy, yeah, stronger economy for the Viper. That's not just Viking economy, that's also because he was booming on 3 town centers that was getting his vill count up and not getting punished while doing so. Looking at that, 97 villagers for him, and he only lost 1. I mean, Vinchester only lost 6, right? I mean, let's put it in perspective, but remember that Vinchester also had 30 less villagers than the Viper did. So yeah, as both players, a very similar level of speed as well. Yeah, we're at the top tier level of Age of Empires speed right now. GG. That was the first game. Let's update the score here. There we go. There we go. And let's go into the second game, because I'm sure that will be available. That is available. So let's hop into that one, if you will, and see if Vinchester can maybe counter the snake and see. With maybe a controversial Civ pick, for example. I mean, I saw Bohemians in the draft. I wonder if that's going to happen at some point. Although that seems to be more like a Civ that you would use if you're ahead and you're fairly certain that you have a good chance of winning the tournament. Not when you're behind by a game. At least can't imagine that, at least. But that's just me. That's because, I mean, I haven't played with Bohemians that much after all. So, hey, they might be an overpowered Civ. I still think they have potential, but not as much as, say, a Civ like Aztecs or Mayans or things like that. Those are really the classic Arabia Civs, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as most players are concerned at that, actually. Any case, welcome to the second game here between the Viper and Vinchester. Viper has gone for Burgundians here. Ooh, great civilization as well. And Vinchester countering with the Camel Civ, Indians. Oh boy, oh boy. Now that is going to be an interesting matchup, especially for Burgundians, which, of course, you know, they bank kind of on their cavalry. That is kind of their main unit to go for. But if you're countered by camels, you're going to have a rough time. Now, in Castellets, this might not be the biggest of problems. You know, you still get crossbow, you get cavalier as well, which are significantly better than knights because they have 2 extra attack, which is kind of nice. But in Imperial Age, it definitely means cavalry is off the menu. Because if you try to go for Paladin there, you just lack bloodlines, and Heavy Camel will absolutely shred you. Imperial Camel will absolutely shred you. I mean, again, we're not quite there yet. I don't think we're going to quite make it to Imperial Camel this game, but hey, it wouldn't be the first time. And both civilizations also have pretty good gunpowder as well. Especially Burgundians at that. I think Burgundians probably have one of the best gunpowder civs in the game right now because of the bonuses that they get. Especially the extra attack that it does. So, yeah, that's definitely very good. Now, looking at the map here for the Viper, not so much map hacks this time around. As you can see, a pretty small wood line in the back here with a pond as well. We got 2 forward wood lines that they can use to wall maybe the left side. You know, if you wall right there, wall on the front, you know, you only have to defend on the right, where you have a very little wood line again with a pond. So 2 ponds in this wood lines, which is, yeah, difficult. Now that part will always be equal across players, so you'll see if I have a look at Vinchester's base in a second, that will also have some pawns in the woodlines. Now last to wrap up here, we got a forward gold for the snake, which is of course very difficult to defend, especially with this hill being here, a pressure point for potential pressure point for Vinchester to attack with his army. We got forward berries as well, and then in the back though, Viper has some gold. Ooh, that's nice for the snake, actually. That's really nice for Viper. You know, you will always be able to expand to an extra gold, maybe the town center on the edge here, on the wood line, and the gold. Got some stone in the back as well, so we have some options for the defense. And the other secondary gold is all the way out there, but that's not going to be it's not going to be under consideration for a while now. Then for Vinchester, who has a similarly open base to Viper, you know, the woodlines spawning quite far away, has 2 forward woodlines, but of course those are the bad woodlines with the pawns in them. The woodlines to the back here for him are much better, whereas for Viper it's the exact other way around. Yeah, now for Vinchester, he also has gold in the back. He has berries in the back as well. So this is a significantly better base here for Vinchester as opposed to the Viper. As Vinchester is going to try to go for a pre-milled rush here, but Viper, scouting at the right time, happens to wander into Vinchester's base and sees that barracks going up at minute 5. That can only mean one thing. That's too early for anything else. So it has to be a rush. The Viper will know, and let's see what Viper is going to do. Well, Viper cannot add his own barracks right now because he doesn't quite have the resources for that. But he will know that that's coming in. So he already pre-walled in his berries on one side. Vinchester is still scouting around now. Finds Viper, sees the mill, sees that it's pre-walled already. Of course, he knows that he knows that the Viper is aware of the fact that he's going for a drush. This Viper trying to wall in the wood line. Vinchester could conceivably stop that a little bit, but it wouldn't matter anyways because the drush hasn't quite made it to Viper's base just yet. And Viper again pre-walling, you know, it's a bit of idle time that you have to take with your villagers, but in the end it will be okay. One villager ending up outside of the lumber cap though. Yeah, that always sucks when it happens. But I don't know why, but sometimes villagers just have to be on the outside of the wall when they finish a wall. I don't know what that is. Like, you're just walling straight like this, and the villager goes and sit on the outside of the wall. It's like, why would you do that? Why do you have to be like this? As Viper, yeah, he's not scouting that much because he knows exactly what Vinchester is doing, so he doesn't have to scout much anymore. He's just pushing in his hunt, gets some extra food out as Vinchester, yeah, makes it to Viper's base, but not a lot of areas that can be hit right now. Not a lot of areas that can be hit because the Viper has pre-walled in his resources. Now this will stop Viper from walling, if that was the plan, although I'm not sure if Viper was ever planning to wall here in the first place. You know, I don't know, it's not really Burgundian style either. You know, as long as if you have a cavalry civ, it's fairly easy, to protect yourself with some mobile military. As Viper and Vinchester both dancing on the hill here, they're dancing on the scouts. Viper though dancing a better tango than Vinchester does, getting more HP off of Vinchester's scout, and Vinchester will have to run away now. Yeah, so Drush is. Did he wall in a Drush? Oh my god, Viper walled in the Drush. Look at that. Vinchester was trying to get through this palisade wall, and now the Drush is walled in. It's not going to do anything anymore. It's not going to do anything anymore. Vinchester even made a 3rd militia, but I wonder is he even going to get the men-at-arm upgrade. He is going to go to gold now, though. He has clicked up, but Viper's going to be 40 seconds ahead here. Ay. Yeah, this is also Viper loves trapping stuff. He absolutely loves trapping things. Like going for fancy traps, that's one of his favorites here. As Vinchester, not a few leads yet, has to fight off this scout. And luckily for him that he made an extra militia now, saving a scout for now. As Viper's trying to get the scout from Vinchester. Is he going to get it though? Militia definitely helping as well as Viper. Yeah, saving a scout for now. This scout for Vinchester will not be able to do anything anyways. It's on 2 HP. Vinchester not getting the men-at-arm upgrade. I didn't think he would. I didn't think he would get that upgrade. Not when most of your militia are trapped in a palisade wall, which is where they're being very noisy right now. As the scout is pushed away by the spearman. And Viper is on the prowl to snipe that. Yeah, so Vinchester can never sit. He can never idle his scout in Viper's base. He has to keep running away because if he idles it anywhere, he'll probably get sniped. Now Vinchester on the back foot dropped has a stable, of course. Actually, he dropped a stable. Hang on a second. Hold on a second. Vinchester's not going to go for archers. I think that was the plan. He was on gold after all, but I think instead he's switching up the plan here, going drush into scouts. Interesting. That's not something that Viper will expect, but he will be able to scout it because he's waiting to see are the archers coming forward already. So he's just having a look there, see what he sees. Now sees the stable. There you go. Viper sees the stable, immediately knows, oh, okay, so it's scouts that you're going to be making, and queues up a few spearmen. Yeah, that's really good. And this is why scouting is so important. Right here. This is why scouting is so important. As the drush for Vinchester finally goes down to the skirmishers. Yeah, I mean, Viper, he goes forward and sees, okay, Vinchester made a drush. What is the follow-up going to be? Sees the stable, no scouts are going to come out, and now he can make some spearmen to protect his ranged unit if he wants to move forward here. It's good play. It's the most important skill I think you can have as an Age of Empires player. You have to scout. You have to scout well. And that's difficult, right? It's difficult because you have so much other things to do beyond scouting your opponent. Like, I always forget to scout my opponent too. You know, I'm definitely guilty of playing blind. I am definitely guilty of playing blind as well. You know, not really checking what my opponent was doing. This is has to be admitted as well. But I can only tell you, the best skill that you can have is scouting what your opponent is doing, because then you can immediately counter them before it's too late. See, if Viper didn't know about the scouts and the scouts show up at his base, then suddenly you have to deal with scouts. And it takes a while to get the spearmen out. But now the spearmen are already here, as Viper's going to go for some walls. So Walls on the north side of his base to keep himself safe, but the spearman kind of out of position there, and Vinchester's like, ooh, that's a nice little villager you got there, and gets the villager kill. Yeah, distracting the spearman with a scout, only taking one hit, is going to run away now. Very nice as Vinchester. Yeah, thinking about killing this villager as well. He probably wants her though. Probably wants her to bring in more scouts, and now it takes a fight against the spearman downhill. This is good for Vinchester. This is good. Allow him to get another villager. Vinchester's gonna quick. Viper gonna quick while in the Ville. Is he gonna win in the Ville? Walls in the Ville with the help of the spearman. Oh man, just Viper thinks, man. Vinchester's still only able to get one villager there. Good stuff though. Good stuff. I mean, the scouts did get some kills there. That's good. Can still run around, can always run away from the spearman. Spearman can't, of course, keep up with scouts. And Vinchester is still stopping Viper from bringing forward military to his base right now. And Viper for now is just going to defend himself with some spearmen. I don't think he's too interested in investing too much in military. He's making a skirmisher here and there. As Vinchester actually has dropped an archer range, it's going to make an archer as well now. It's going to make some archers as well. He's just going to go for the full breadth of options here. Some infantry first, and then now it's cavalry, and then after that it's ranged units once more. Viper also walling up the left side of his base, like I suggested earlier. It's really nice keeping the left part of your base very safe. Walling towards his TC here, you know, basically making sure that the scouts can only run through in one spot, and that spot will be the TC, not a spot you want to run through. Food count for the Viper looking really solid right there. Already has wheelbarrow as well. Has the second farm upgrade of all things, man. These farms have so much food on them, and the villagers produce, you know, they actually carry some more food, which makes them work faster. Vinchester's trying to take the fight now. Bloodlines is in. No armor, no attack upgrades. It's just Bloodlines now. It's a spearman finally go down, and actually, no, only one spearman going down. The second one is still alive. Now goes down, but Vinchester, how much value did he get with this? How much value did he get? He definitely killed a lot of army there for the Viper. It must be said. It must be said. But in the end, Viper still not losing a single villager. Not losing a single... Okay, losing one villager to Vinchester. Not losing a single village in that engagement here. Lots of house walls here to keep the scouts out. Very nice. Yeah. Oh, one more house here. Bam. And the scouts cannot get to the gold. Oh, that's good. That's good. Also, quite safe back gold. You know, I suggested that would have been more preferable over the other gold. Yeah, his Viper also got a quick walls in the left side, and these villagers are eminently safe over here. Vinchester now bringing forward some archers here as well, so he can snipe the spearman, which Viper was hoping to defend himself with. As Viper is thinking about clicking up, but doesn't quite have the gold and doesn't quite have the food. Whereas Vinchester is looking like he's going to click up any second now. So roaming around, can conceivably fight against spearmen, but it's not ideal. You don't want to fight against a spearman, obviously. Best to snipe him with your archers, which have extra bonus damage versus spearmen. But it's only one archer so far. That's not a whole lot to deal with. As Vinchester, yeah, pulls back, clicks onto the gas slays, and leaving Viper behind. This attack was more successful for Vinchester, I would say. You know, even if it didn't kill any additional villagers beyond that first one, it's still delayed Viper massively, and as a result, Viper is only going to click up now. There you go. There you go. So he's going to be about 30 seconds behind. That is not too bad, actually. That's pretty good. You know, especially if you already have the unit that you can instantly upgrade, whereas, yeah, Vinchester has to wait until he gets to the castle age before he can even make the unit that he might be thinking about here. Or not. I mean, he might be going for crossbows, honestly. You don't have to go for cavalry archers as Indians there, although it would be a great unit nonetheless. He does have bloodlines already. He's getting armor upgrades on his cavalry as well. Ooh, interesting. You know, that will definitely make these scouts a lot stronger. If you want to go for light cap, you know, then they will have light cap with 5 pierce armor. We saw how strong that could be when Leary used them against Jordan just in the previous set. But of course, you know, that doesn't mean that it will happen here. He's up against ranged units though, so just saying, as Vinchester microing his way through the spearmen, but yeah, he has to dive the TC if he wants to get into Viper's base, and even if he does, there's not a lot of villages that he can get, because Viper basically compartmentalized his base, you know, making sure that even if you get into the main base, it doesn't mean you can get into all the smaller parts where the resources are actually being gathered. And Vinchester making it to the castle, it's going to get the crossbow upgrade, I should suppose, at least. Yeah, I should think so. It's only 2 archer ranges, so it's not going to be... Probably not going to be cavalry archers, although he is getting a lot of upgrades on his cavalry as well. And he's making cavalry archers. Okay, never mind. It is going to be cavalry archers. I was wondering if we were going to get to see cavalry archers here. Now, it is expensive. It's only from 2 archer range, so it takes a while to mass them that way. So they're just going to drop a TC on this little shiver of a wood line on the north here. Still kind of keeping Viper back at home, as Viper is dropping his own stable now to maybe make a knight or 2 to counter what Vinchester will be doing, as Vinchester is already making some camels, which camels with Indians, you know, are great, of course, against cavalry, especially because they have extra pierce armor, allowing them to survive a lot more crossbow shots than any normal camel would. Looking at the micro over Vinchester, not losing a single crossbow there, killing 2 skirmishes there for the Viper. Very nice. You know, using his range now to take down this palisade wall and break into the Viper's base and put some more pressure on the snake. And the more pressure he puts on Viper right now, stopping Viper from counterattacking maybe, then perhaps he can get to a nice mess of cavalry archers before of course he gets counterattacked. Viper again dropping a siege workshop and making a scorpion to defend himself, but this time it's not skirmishes he has to deal with. It is actually crossbows, which can actually kill villagers. Viper has dropped a second TC though on the wood, on the stone as well, so he will be able to add some more villagers. So both players will be on 2 TCs for now. Vinchester thinking about running in here to try to snipe this scorpion, but he can't get too close to the TC because camels and light cap, yes, they have more pierce armor than normal light cap and camels, but still, it's still very risky. Gets the scorpion though, another scorpion out. Vinchester going to try to go for it, but this time no spearmen are in front, and all the camels go down, then the scorpion goes down, but barely so, at the cost of a lot of cavalry right there. And so Vinchester probably is going to abandon Viper's base here, as Viper is dropping a 3rd TC up north, also on stone, and I wonder if Viper's maybe thinking Custeliers here, which, I mean, aren't the worst against camels actually. They can't, because Custeliers do have a lot of bonus damage. I mean, a lot of like early damage that they do via the charge attack. Of course, after that they have very low base attack. You know, so they're really not a good cavalry unit if you look at it that way. But you know, that first charge attack is pretty significant. Vinchester dropping a 3rd town center now on the gold as well to keep that safe. I like that, you know, because his woodline was about to run out, and it's not much of a defensive wall anymore. So there's a woodline in the back he can take as well. There's still a little bit of an engagement going on. Vinchester's just all over Viper's base right now, showing the cavalry archers for the first time. These cavalry archers do have bloodlines, they have armor, they have full upgrades pretty much, except Thumbring maybe, and no ballistics either actually. So they're still lacking some crucial upgrades, but for the rest, looking pretty good here. As Vinchester's just going to roam around a little bit. See if you can find a straggling vill. That's kind of what you want to do with cavalry archers, right? There's 12 on the field right now, so there's quite a big group, actually. But yeah, it's just, where are you going to use them to hit Viper? I guess if you can try to break through this wall, that might be an idea. You know, that might be an idea. As Viper is going to lose a build here. Nope, because no ballistics. That might have helped there. As Viper immediately house walling behind here, keep this army out. Vinchester trying to snipe the builds, gets one though. Second villager kill off the game here for Vinchester. And Viper realizing, okay, that's rangeable, so whatever. We'll just go to another gold. The thing is though, what other gold? What other gold? There is no other gold for the Viper, so I'll have to either drop a castle on this on a middle town center here. At least that's the plan. But Vinchester is right there, so Viper will have to fight his way to his main gold. Now I think he is intending to drop a castle on the front there, but he's going to have to deal with Vinchester's little army mass here. As Vinchester's running in the back of Viper's base, and Viper, he is on the back foot here, is trying to wall out this pressure. There's so many villagers down here that are exposed. If Vinchester finds those, oh, Vinchester, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. Oh, he doesn't know about the wood line. Oh my god. Imagine if those cavalry archers had gotten into the wood line there. That would have been fantastic. Yeah, Viper, it was so scared of that, immediately pulling back his crossbows to deal with that. Oh my god. That would have been a massacre. Dropping a castle right now on a hill over here, but that's not protecting your gold. And Vinchester's clicking up the imp here. Vinchester going up the imp here with 69 villagers. Nice. Vinchester still trying to delay this, killing an archer for the first time. I'd say that Vinchester is taking a definitive lead here over the Viper. Viper is definitely on a defensive right now. Has to get his economy rolling again. It's on 74 villages, so that's really nice. It's 3 town centers for both players. Of course, Vinchester will have to idle one of his in order to get to the next age. Doesn't have ballistics just yet, but does have a thumb ring in 40 seconds. And he sends his camels around to maybe snipe the scorpions, or at least distract their fire. I don't think that Vinchester can stop this castle, but that's not going to be an issue because, of course, you can come forward with some bombard cannons of your own if you want to. As ballistics should be coming in as soon as he has the wood for it. It's, of course, 300 wood. That's a lot. 300 wood, 175 gold, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Viper's wood situation is not that great. It's not that great. This woodline has depleted. There's a woodland in the back of his base, which he does not know about at all. Doesn't know there's wood right there. This woodline is not that safe. Viper doesn't have a lot of wood right now. As Vinchester is dropping a siege workshop right on the front here, right in front of Viper's base. As Viper's dropping a town center. Vinchester sees it now. Let's see if he can try to deny that a little bit. There's still 2 scorpions there. No ballistics is hurting so much right here. Ballistics is such an important upgrade to get for cavalry archers because you need to hit things. You need to hit things if you want to actually succeed there. As but Vinchester trying to get the siege workshop up, gets the siege workshop up, but the villagers go down to Viper's forward attack at least. Viper was thinking about moving forward, but yeah, in the end stays behind to kill the siege workshop. Now he knows it's there. Vinchester still no ballistics on his units. He needs to get that upgrade as soon as he can here. As we have the first Custelier coming out here for the Viper. Now Custeliers are probably the best unit capable of chasing cavalry archers, and the reason for that is that normally the problem chasing cavalry archers with your knights is that they have to chase, get close, hit once, and then they have to chase again. It takes a while to get close again. In the meantime, cavalry archers can do a lot of damage. Custeliers though, with that one hit, do significantly more damage than the normal knight. As Viper losing a lot of his crossbows right here. This is looking increasingly good for Vinchester. Of course, Viper is not an Imperial Age either. He's going to have to defend himself with castles as much as he can. As the forward siege workshop for Vinchester will be rendered null by this castle that Viper is going to drop on the front of his base, keeping his main gold safe as well. As heavy camel is about to come in. And of course, this is the thing. This is too easy for Indians to do. Just add in some strong camel options. Bombard cannons coming forward as well, so you don't need a castle of your own to protect here. We got some cavalry archers against spearmen, but for the rest you could just make full camel and you'd be okay with that. Seriously, full camel would totally do the trick here. You have a few cavalry archers to snipe spearmen, to snipe villagers that go around to protect the bombard cannons, and for the rest all you need is a bunch is camels at this point, I'd say. Unless Viper will switch into pikemen, at that point maybe cavalry archers might have to carry the overtone. We have guard tower defense now for the Viper. He's heavily on stone, so he can afford more castles because he knows he's not going to be able to click up the imp anytime soon here. But the Viper does have 107 villagers, but Vinchester not that far behind with 95 of his own. Very good. As some light cap raids coming in now, as Viper trying to wall that out, but the light cap do make it into the back of his base. Viper's going to try to quick wall this as well, maybe. But there's a hole still. No, some villagers will die here. Some villagers will die here. There might be a guard tower there right now, but so many villagers. As Viper has placed guard towers everywhere. Look at that. Guard tower defense is real, man. The guard tower defense is real. First bombard cannon coming forward here for Vinchester as he brings out the heavy camels as well. Lots of upgrades. Full armor upgrades actually for Indians. You know, you only lack the last one. Running away with the cavalry archers though, that was a good fight for the Viper. As Viper still has not been able to counterattack Vinchester, and Vinchester's looking really strong, looking at his element as Indians here. As Viper is forced to repair this castle, he is getting close to being able to click up to the next stage. But the thing is, once you do, will you be able to hold on as you won't be able to make a whole lot of military? It seems like the kind of situation where the Viper might be tempted to go for Flemish Revolution, which, I mean, against camels would not be the worst, but cavalry archers is a thing, no. As Vinchester just slowly bringing out more bombard cannons. They're expensive units. You don't want to lose them, so you keep your units around them. You don't want to get messed up like that. As yeah, Viper's thinking about sending forward the Custodiers, but Vinchester is paying attention to that. His economy is looking very solid behind this as well. You know, it's a nice little farm count he's got over there to afford some villages. Yeah, Viper pushing forward now. Bombard cannons though pretty good against skirmishers as well. Viper wants to kill the bombard cannons because he's spending a lot of stone repairing his freaking castle. Luckily for him, it is on the top of a hill, as yeah, the Custodiers are a little bit overzealous there, a little bit overzealous, as Viper still has not clicked up to the next stage, but is getting pikemen right now. So for the time being, Viper is still forever castle age, as Vinchester selling some wood so you can get some more units out right there, some light cap, some more camels, some more cavalry archers. Now with ballistics, by the way, let's see Viper coming forward once more here, staggering his skirmishes this time to maybe get a better engagement there. And the castle is on lower and lower HP. Once you get to about four siege units like that, it's going to be more difficult to go. Vinchester though out of position with his camels. Viper is trying to go for the bombard cannons. Vinchester could block that with his cavalry archers. It's important that the bombard cannons do not go down. And 3 bombard cannons going down to the charge attack. Custodier is insane at that. That is 3 bombard cannons down right now, which will stall out Vinchester for a while. Who's now going to drop a castle of his own on this hill to maybe get some traps out at the same time as well. But now Viper did sacrifice all his Custodiers for that. He won't have any left anymore. He's going to go for full halberdier pikeman trash right now, probably. As yeah, the skirmishers will be dealt with by the camels as well. If Vinchester doesn't see any more Custodiers, he's probably going to stop making camels and probably going to start making more cavalry archers. And cavalry archers will do very well against the halberdiers. Not something that Burgundians can easily deal with, especially because they don't have the final armor upgrade on their skirmishers and they don't get good cavalry archers of their own. Viper has spent so much stone repairing this castle, and again, he wants to keep this castle up. It's the one thing that's keeping his front safe. He doesn't want Vinchester to overrun here, as Vinchester is 126 villagers, 138 for the Viper, so the economies are rather similar. As Vinchester is getting more and more upgrades, has been in Imperial Age for a much longer time. Viper is getting his upgrades on his pikemen there, but the question is, will it be enough? Will it be enough to push out against Vinchester, who is getting more and more cavalry archers, and will also have light cap raiding around everywhere. Vinchester now seeing the pikemen. He sees the pikemen, that's important. Sees the pikemen, is sending in his cavalry archers as well. I wonder what this is going to prompt him to do. I mean, like, there's always hand cannoneers if you really need it, but honestly, just keep making cavalry archers, just heavily so, and just make a meat shield out of light cap. Or hussars, it would be better. Viper now making it to the Imperial Age is going to get his upgrades on his castles, on his halberdiers and things like that. Chemistry coming in as well, but the castle now crumbling, and Vinchester looking to push into Viper's base. Viper getting raided as well by the light cap. Vinchester's all on top of this, holding the front for now, coming forward, has enough stone for another castle, and I think that castle should go up on this hill, right on the gold, taking revenge here for Viper, who denied the gold with Vinchester the first game. And so yeah, the camels run in here, the cavalry archers are right behind with full upgrades almost after this one comes in. And how is Viper going to deal with this? How is he going to deal with this? So many villagers for Viper have gone down already. It's 38 to 9 eco KD. Halberdiers are not going to be able to kill the cavalry archers with some proper micro and some shielding in front of it. Another castle for the Viper about to go down as well. He's still trying. I mean, this might almost be a case where you might go for Flemish Revolution, which is, of course, a technology that is available to the Viper. But is he going to be memey enough to do that as he's repairing the castle to keep it up? Trying to take the bombard cannon out with a Halberdier, though. Vinchester should deal with that. Vinchester should deal with that. He notices it now. Castle comes crumbling down as Viper's making full trash right now. Vinchester coming forward with another castle as he has the entire front secured. It's about to lose a bombard cannon though. It's an expensive loss over here. The cavalry archer numbers not as high as you would have liked. As another bombard cannon goes down. Yeah, you should definitely try to repair those. Vinchester's trying to build a castle, but it was blocked by military units for the Viper. And the Viper, he's still trying to hold on, but it's a desperation move for him right now. It's a desperation move. No more castles and it's full trash for him. The question is, what is Vinchester going to do as he's getting men-at-arms? Ooh. So he's thinking about champions then. Do Indians get champions? They do, right? They do. Well, hang on. Let me tap into the real game. Indians, do you get champions? Let's see. Indians, do we get champions? That I do want to know. Because otherwise I wouldn't see why we would tap into that. Yes, they do. They do get champions. They do get champions. Yeah, Vinchester still wants to drop this castle, but doesn't quite have the army control necessary right now. And the Viper, he's expanding his economy, and he's pushing out with as much trash as he can. And trash, of course, will still do the trick here. As Vinchester is getting supplies, he's making more cavalry archers at the same time, you know. But the champion should be able to wreck all of this. But, oh, Viper, he is aware of what's happening. He's aware of what's happening. He's making his own gunpowder units. And like I said, the Burgundians have some of the best gunpowder in the game here. Making some hand cannoneers. And I wonder if Vinchester can actually see that. He can see hand cannoneers now. I wonder if he's still going to go for two-handed swordsmen then once those hand cannoneers come out. Because hand cannoneers will absolutely wreck any attempts to go champion here. I wonder if that's going to be the call then for Vinchester. Is he going to cancel it? What's the deal here? What's the deal here, Vinchester? What are we going to do? Because he's so close to killing Viper. He's so close. He is definitely ahead right now, but Viper is still staying alive. Still proving, you know, making Vinchester work for it. If you want to get a win here, you're going to have to fight as hard as you can. The town center on the right side is going to go down. That extra gold will be denied. And Viper, let's see. Let's look at his gold situation. Tricky. That right there is the only gold for the Viper. Now, he's making a lot of trash, but if this gold were denied, no more hand cannoneers. As, yeah, more champions coming forward now. Now, if you can get a lot of champions out, they are a cheap-ish unit, right? Compared to, say, cavalry archers, so that's pretty good. This Viper now, yeah, bringing forward the bombard cannons with the extra attack, as you can see. Look at that, plus 10 attack because you are Burgundians, and of course 250 damage versus buildings, which is crazy. The cavalry archers technically counter halberdiers, but not when you just send in the halberdiers en masse, right? Because if they get close, and if there's that many of them, they will get close. They will be able to kill the cavalry archers quite quickly. Aye. This is a very close game. A very close game. I mean, Viper, again, sniping a bombard cannon. Really nice there. Vinchester was thinking about repairing that, but maybe a tad too late there. Viper happily on gold down here as well. Something that Vinchester should probably raid. I'm not sure if Vinchester can actually see that. Oh, he's hanging around over here with the light calf. Send him in. Oh, Viper is actually protecting that with halberdier right now. Yeah, Viper's fine. He's fine. The score is evening out a little bit as heavy cavalry archer are about to come in. That's a lot of expensive upgrades, and Vinchester is not actually taking the extra golds on the map right now. He's about to take this extra gold. That's important because you're spending a whole lot. It's a double gold combo as the champion raids are about to commence here. They're still lacking some upgrades, and the fact with Indians, you do miss the final armor upgrade, which is it's a problem. It's a problem if you're up against an opponent that makes skirmishers with full upgrades, or at least full attack upgrades. Hussar coming in as well. Vinchester is making a lot of everything. I'm not sure. I think he's not really sure what exact unit to go for here. Honestly, I think maybe just Hussars and Cavalry Archers should do the trick here. I don't think we need champions. I think Hussars and Cavalry Archers will do the trick. Just full Cavalry Archers and just mass the Hussars. Like a massive amount of Hussars just in a meat shield in front. I don't think Viper will be able to deal with that. You know, I mean, Pikemen, yes, do quite well there. But remember, Viper also invested in a whole lot of hand cannoneers here. As let's see if Vinchester is going to raid the gold now. He's getting more upgrades on his castles, getting hoardings and masonry. He's also going to get sultans. No, he's going to get another tag. I'm not actually sure what that. Oh, that's sultan. So that means more gold income from gold and faster gold income as well. That's really good. That's 5% sending in the skirmishes to deal with that. But remember, no final armor upgrade on these, so the cavalry archers should still do okay in a fight. But you still don't want to take this fight. You don't want to take that fight. As both Viper and Vinchester now sharing the stone down here, but I don't think Viper is the one to share. As Vinchester is sending in the Hussars on this side, is sending in the champions to raid the gold here for Viper and denying that. Viper is going to run out of gold at some point, and now it's Vinchester still repairing this castle to perpetuity here. Another thing that might be a problem for Viper at some point is wood. Ooh, that might actually be a much bigger problem. Where is he taking wood right now? Viper's wood line. This is wood control right now. If he loses this wood line, then no wood for him for now. I mean, he's taking wood down here as well, but that can easily be denied as well. As Vinchester still fighting a little bit, a little gate there for Viper to block the units running in. As more Hussars run in, but the Halberdiers are doing a great job at stopping that for now. It's still difficult. Vinchester making a little bit of everything, and there's always I mean, sometimes that works, but in most cases, making a little bit of everything is tricky. This is a good fight though. Lots of hand cannoneers are going down here. Lots of hand cannoneers going down, and this is maybe their biggest weakness. Viper bringing out more halberdiers, but is it in time? Is it in time? As Vinchester pushing forward with more heavy cavalry archers now with a lot of extra attack, will be able to kill skirmishers and hand cannoneers. Viper still holding on. The KD is, I mean, fairly even as well, as you can see. Actually, you can't see, but we'll have a look at it later. As Vinchester is throwing everything he has, at the snake. He wants to push through here, but the snake. Wait, what? Did he say GG? Hang on a second. Wait, did he just resign without saying GG? What was that, the game? Player dropped and the game is being restored. Okay, no, the Viper dropped. Never mind. The Viper dropped, you know, and it's but Viper resigned 1 minute after the restore. They forgot to enable spectators, so I guess Viper resigned then. So, wait, does that mean that Vinchester wins? I guess so. I guess it does mean. So Viper, I guess they did play a restore then, and I guess Viper resigned 1 minute after. They forgot to enable spectators, so I unfortunately cannot show you. I cannot show you the GG moment, but I think that it will be a win for Vinchester then. Alrighty, well Vinchester would deservedly win this game and evening out the set, and we have ourselves a series here, you guys. We have ourselves a series. Like at the first game, with how strong Viper was performing, it looked like Viper was just going to smash his way right through Vinchester again, but that would have been unprecedented. With how Vinchester has been playing this tournament, I would have been very surprised if this had been a stomp. Would have been very surprised. And there you go, Vinchester evening it out right there, and the series is wide open, and this is exactly what we like. Now, Vinchester, it was a little shaky moment there. Viper definitely holding on for a long time. He was significantly later to Imp, but defending himself with trash, with castles as much as he could. Repairing his one castle that was stopping Vinchester from pushing in, you know. And Vinchester for a while wasn't really exactly sure what unit to go for, but I guess the champion Hussar cavalry archer combo in the end doing the trick here, and Viper, yeah, getting pushed off of his main gold. You know, this other gold would have been ranged as well and raided by champions. You would have been out of gold to make hand cannoneers, although as a lot of it though, so it would have been okay for a while. But I guess Viper probably realizing that, you know, all of this, he's still defending, but he's not doing any damage to Vinchester's economy. It's 104 villagers for the Viper and 138 for Vinchester. So, yeah, his economy is much, much better. And so, really well played by Vinchester. Look at the KD as well. Much better for Vinchester. Almost double that of the Viper. Who was, of course, making a lot of trash. That is not going to give you a good KD in most cases. So, that's not a surprise. Looking at the economy, yeah, also better for Vinchester as well. 76666. Huh. Well. Yeah, but yeah, for overall more gold as well. Actually, that was the biggest difference. 6,000 more gold for Vinchester, and he sure used that gold. Honestly, making a double gold army plus Hussars. Damn, that's pretty good. Also, look at the Imperial Age time for the Viper. 10 whole minutes behind Vinchester. Now, surviving that long when your opponent's an imp, that's difficult. It's definitely challenging. So that's chapeau for the Viper. I mean, even though he lost, he definitely made Vinchester work for it. He definitely made him work for it. So yeah, that's great to see. Village max for Vinchester much higher. Yeah, looking pretty good there. GG. Well, I suppose we're probably going to go into a game 3 now as soon as that becomes available. So let me update the score here and let's see. Let's have a look if the link is already there. Yep, we got a game 3 already for you. So I say we have a quick look at the draft and then we'll hop right into that game as well. So here's the draft. We got a win for Vinchester. We had a loss with Mongols. We had a win for the Viper with Vikings. We had a loss with Burgundians. Alrighty. So yeah, I mean, if they just are going for it, but again, both players going for bottom row civilizations. So I wonder if they might go for one of their top tier civilizations up here. Then I wonder. You know, and also if Vinchester at any point thinks Viper is going Huns, then Berbers would be a great counter to that. I don't know when that's going to happen. Yeah, Viper might just go for Vietnamese, Saracens, or Chinese because the archer play worked out really well for him. Cavalry play not so much this game. At least he didn't really get to play with cavalry. But what for Vinchester's going to do, I'm not really sure. Still has 2 Mesosivs as well, or Incas is not a Mesosiv. I know. It's an Eagle Civ, but it's the word. It's just ingrained into my brain. I can't help it at this point. Anyways, let's hop into the game, shall we? Let's 14. Let me find the game. Here in the backstage, of course, behind the scenes, literally, just you guys can see it there. And there we go. Perfect. Let's go. Not too much spec delay, I hope. None at all. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, I'm ready for this. Let's make sure we don't speed up too much. And there we go. Welcome to the 3rd game here. Between Vinchester and Viper, and Viper indeed did go for Huns, and Vinchester picked Berbers. Wow, what a lucky pick for Vinchester. Or if we knew, what a strategic pick from him, because Huns versus Berbers is a nightmare for Huns. I know that the Viper is a fantastic player, he really is, but even he should struggle against Vinchester when he has Berbers, when it's Huns versus Berbers. And there's a good reason for that. Think about it. What do Huns do well? They do 2 things exceptionally well. That's really their thing. For one, it's Castle Age play, right? Castle Age is this time to shine for Huns. Imperial Age is pretty sweet as well, but mostly Castle Age. That's when you have your faster working stables, your cheaper cavalry archers. And those are the 2 things that they do very well. It's either going for a lot of cavalry, you know, spamming knights with your faster working stables, or you go for cavalry archers. Those are your 2 strengths. The other things, crossbow, you can upgrade them into arbalest. That's not really ideal. Skirm play is not that great as well because of that. The infantry is absolutely trash. You know, or at least not absolute trash, but it's not great. It's not great at all. And now think about what can Berbers do well. Berbers also love the Castle Age. That's also the time to shine for that. They also love spamming cavalry because it's cheaper, so they can match the Hun spam, I would say, at least in the quantity of units on the field. And the fact is, they can make camels, so they can immediately counter the knight play for the Hun player. Then if the Hun player is like, okay, camels, huh? Well, I'll go for some cavalry archers. Well, the Berber player can also go to stone and get some camel archers out to counter that, because camel archers have a bonus damage versus cavalry archers. Literally anything that Huns can do, Berbers can counter. So that is why I have railed on this matchup so many times in this tournament, and so many times has it proven to be the downfall of the player that happened to have Huns in this matchup. So Viper, I think either he has to go very aggressive and take advantage of the fact that the Hun feudal age should be better than the Berber feudal age, and maybe kill fast, or hope you get a better army out, kill him in Castle Age, maybe, and overwhelm him with an all-in play, perhaps, you know, if the Berber player is enticed into booming a little bit. Perhaps so, but we'll see. We'll see what the strategy is going to be. Killing fast, I think, would have high priority. Anyways, as for Viper's base, he has 4 wood lines technically, although, again, this with a pond, barely a wood line. Most of those wood lines are to the back though, so they're not, you know, they're less rangeable, but they are also, they don't help you as much with walling your base as a forward wood line would. And the problem also is that the Viper has forward gold and forward berries here. Has a back stone though, so if he wants to go for Tarkans. He can. As Viper, yeah, Viper is intending to go aggressive here. He's going to go for a pre-mill rush now. Vinchester coming in right at this time is going to scout this barracks going up. Oh, that's good scouting information right there for Vinchester. He sees it as well. Now he knows that a pre-mill rush is on the way. And wow, Vinchester actually was already going for his own pre-mill rush. I wonder, did Viper scout that? I didn't know. I wouldn't have noticed that. Viper did scout that. So Viper is not just. He's not going for a pre-mill rush just randomly. He is going there for a pre-mill rush to counter what Vinchester is doing. He just wants to neutralize what Vinchester is doing. Basically, just match his militia with your own. As for Vinchester's base, he has. His wood lines are kind of weird. That's a weird wood line. It's very long and very far away from your TC. His wood line also kind of long. So Vinchester only has 2 proper wood lines here. There's one in the front as well. But of course, it's easier to wall with these wood lines if you so desire, which Vinchester so desires not at the moment as he's walling towards his town center. Sending forward the militia though. There they are coming forward right at the berries for the Viper where he has his own militia posted, and it's going to come down to micro now. Who's going to get the first hits in? Who's going to get the better engagement? Of course, Viper also has villagers here to help in the fight. Yeah, it makes sense that he would fight here as well. Vinchester doesn't want to take this fight. He doesn't want to, because if there's villagers in the mix as well, he will lose that. He will definitely lose that. So what he wants to do is get as much idle time from the Viper as he possibly can over here. As you can see. Any case. Yeah, nice little hill that Vinchester is controlling as well. Vinchester is the first to click up to the feudalage. Viper had to make 3 farms to put to get himself up here. So he's now taking the fight. Villagers again not working right now. This is still good for Vinchester. You know, even though the fight should end up being better for the Viper there. Although the levels of HP, look at that, it's very similar. It's very similar. As Viper and Vinchester both losing a militia there, but the militia for Vinchester is significantly weaker. But the scout for Viper is weak. So it's I mean, at least this scout for Vinchester, you could conceivably still snipe a villager with that once you make it to feudal age. And Vinchester might just be waiting for that so he can kill this militia easily. As yeah, Viper's just kind of tracking this, kind of seeing what Vinchester is up to. Also sending a scout over to Vinchester's base to see what Vinchester's doing back home. As Vinchester is all the way up to the next stage. And I wonder, he's not on gold right now. I wonder, is he going to go for some scouts here? As Vinchester now losing his militia there. And yeah, I don't think he's going to take that fight against with his own scout. It's barely worth it. It's not really worth it to do so. As Vinchester still has not gone to gold. Still hasn't gone to gold. So I wonder, is it going to be scouts for Vinchester here? He's already on 2 wood lines, as you can see, on this really long wood line, which can easily be ranged. So really, ideally, what you would do is like, you just send wall villager and wall right there. Make sure that Viper can't get behind your wood line easily. At least that's what I would do. Is Vinchester now going to gold a bit late then, I guess. But yeah, he's going to go for some archers then. Or, no! Oh, did he fake out the Viper? Did he try to fake out the Viper? Because Viper did not see. He didn't see. As Vinchester trying to trap the scout. And Viper's like, getting out of there in the hole. Was a nice attempt though. Was a nice attempt. Viper scout almost getting trapped in the back of Vinchester's base. Viper's going to run away now. Thing is though, he saw those villagers on gold, but now running back, he didn't see them anymore. So he's going to be checking for a stable. Sees a stable now. Now he knows, aha, you tried to debate me, didn't you? Tried to debate me, but no, it is a stable for Vinchester. It will be scouts for him. Viper will be going for archers, I should imagine. No, ooh, countering with his own stable now. So I guess the scout war is on. The scout war is on. Both players maybe not intending to go for archers or for scouts at the start, but both players ending up going drush into scouts now. Okay. Well, this might favor the Hunts then, because Hunts, of course, this is the production building that works faster for them, so they can get more scouts out than their opponent in the same time span. Berbers really don't shine until they get to Castle Age. It really is the Castle Age when Berbers become exceptionally good. As Vinchester now on gold again, I wonder, is he actually going to make more than 4 scouts if he's just going to go for archers again? As yeah, the weak starting scouts being of Viper being chased by that of Vinchester, and Vinchester is trying to get that one down. Viper sending in another scout and a spearman to deal with that. Vinchester wants this scout, and let's see, oh, and barely survives as well. A lucky snake, and now still loses the scout at the end. Vinchester sniping that, finishing the work of his predecessor. And yeah, there you go. Now let's see, is Vinchester dropping an archer range? That's what I want to know. Yeah, there you go. See, he made a few scouts, but he's actually going for archers now because he is still on gold. So I wonder if Viper thinks it's going to be full on scouts here. You know, I want to know how much Viper is going to commit to scouts. He's still on gold himself as well, so dropping an archer range of his own wouldn't be out of the ordinary there. Still making scouts. He has 4 on. He has 4 on the field right now. 5 on the field for Vinchester. So he still has a scout advantage. Viper is sending his scouts forward to maybe attack in Vinchester's base. Vinchester still scouring around, looking for a villager, but with spearmen running around as well, it's difficult to get yourself a pick. Let's hope Vinchester. Let's see what your quick wall style is like. No, that village is dead. Oh, Viper mistake. Kind of making a mistake there. Tried to block the villager, right? He was trying to encircle the villager, make sure that she got stuck between a mining camp and the scouts. But the scouts pathing the wrong way, allowing the villager to escape here. Now Vinchester is here with some scouts. So if Viper decides to fight here, we might still get the vill though. If he commits to it at least. Vinchester, run away with that vill. Run away with the vill. Don't fight with this villager. Run away, because that villager's really weak here. As Viper's still taking the fight and winning the fight actually. 2 scouts down for Vinchester, only 1 down for Viper. Scouts for Viper also kind of weak there as well. So the militia is being brought forward by the Viper to get some extra kills. And Vinchester is going to have to defend. He's going to have to defend his gold here. And this is what I'm saying. Huns are fine in feudal age. They're fine in feudal age against Berbers. As long as the camels aren't out, Berbers can't counter Huns here. Everything that Berbers get to counter Huns happens in Castle Age. So they actually have to make it that way either. And Viper's food looking a little bit better here. And Viper is heavily on food right now. Heavily on food. So he might either click up fast or make a lot more scouts. You know, full and feudal is still on the table here. So Vinchester's investing in more scouts now. But perhaps not. Perhaps not. I think maybe a Viper making a few spearmen to protect himself. Vinchester, though, what is he going to do? A lot of farms as well. That's 16 farms right there. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And both players will be able to click up at some point. As Vinchester, yeah, he still made some archers as well, which he's sending forward right now in unison with his scouts. But the thing is, Viper's still hanging around here, and Vinchester's gold is still not walled in. You know, there's some spearmen there for Viper to cancel out the spearmen from Vinchester there. As Viper, he's hiding his scouts. He's hiding his scouts, but Vinchester is coming forward. Viper dropping an archer range as well. He's looking to click up here, but his main gold is exposed there. Viper going for a quick gate now because he's sensing the scouts coming in there. He could actually see them, probably. But now he sees archers. I'm not sure if he was aware that an archer range... He was aware of that, but I'm not sure if he was aware that the archers were already here. Clicking up now, but off a gold, and that's a big deal if you want to go for some aggression of your own. Same time, Vinchester having to abandon a few farms there. Lose still no single villager killed in either player's base. That might change now though. 1 villager down. And Viper the first to lose a vill there. And Vinchester getting a bunch of value there. As Viper has clicked up and Vinchester has not clicked up yet. He's still making spearmen now to defend himself. You know, so it's going to take a while for Vinchester to be in the next stage. Viper will get there, but still has to contend with Vinchester being annoying in Viper's base. As Viper, you're not gonna lose a village to a spearman, right? Okay, there you go. That would have been a little bit sus there. Is Viper still has to idle a lot. Look at the resources for Viper not looking too good there. It's because you continuously have to idle your economy, right? Running around, building new lumber camps. So Viper now bringing in the scouts there. Scouts that have bloodlines actually. These scouts have bloodlines, so they're significantly better than Vinchester's scout. Look at the HP difference. And yeah, I think Viper is going to be able to clear this up. Bringing in the villagers as well to fight. Vinchester trying to save his archers as good as he can, but at this point there's not much that these archers can do anymore. And the scouts, both scouts for Viper and for Vinchester do go down because Vinchester was continuously attacking the scouts. Great micro for Vinchester and actually surviving with more army than I think, and I think more army than Viper should think as well. As Viper makes it to Castle Age and Vinchester still has not clicked up. Oh, Vinchester. He's about to click up though, but he's going to have to keep himself as safe as he can get because knights are about to come out, or worse, cavalry archers. Cavalry archers, yep, a knight and cavalry archers. So Vinchester, if he wants to go to stone, and you know, get himself a castle up for some camel archers, that's going to be a problem. His stone is all the way out here. That's not very safe. And the main stone is forward, so that's not safe either. Vinchester's kind of walling up his base. I think there's a hole between the stable and the house, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but you definitely have to check it out because knights will be coming forward, and there's not much that Vinchester can make right now to stop that from happening. Besides spearmen. But of course, spearmen died at cavalry archers, so it's It's tricky. This time it's Viper's turn to go for some CA raids here, as he's going to get his upgrades, and Viper is in a fine position now. Didn't take mortal damage from the attacks from Vinchester, as Vinchester patrolling in his Spearman. Ooh, gets some nice hits on the knight there. And a nice hit on the cavalry arch as well, and those will have to run away for now. Yeah, that's nice for Vinchester. As he's walling in his gold as well. He knows his main gold is very tricky. He doesn't. I don't think he wants to drop a tower right now, because if you still want to drop a castle, having 200 stone is a good start, right? It's a good start to work from. As Viper, yeah, making his way, trying to make his way through his house, which still has only -1 melee armor. Vinchester 38 seconds away from being up in the next stage, but Viper is all over him. But not that much military, actually. I mean, not that much military, but it's military that Vinchester can deal with. And now also you see what happens when you don't wall like this. Viper, if he wants to, can sit right there with a cavalry archer, and there's nothing that Vinchester can do about it right now. If you wall this, at least the pressure has to come from this way, and you can wall this as well. But he's suddenly a lot more safe. Yeah, as the Spearmen are trying to snipe the cavalry archers, but Viper is on top of this. He's not gonna let Vinchester do this. As Vinchester is making camels right now, getting the second armor upgrade as well, which is kind of important if you're up against cavalry archers. It's going to be a camel spam for the Berber player. Then he is slightly all in, not quite yet, but slightly so. Walling out this pressure as well. Only a scout that makes it into the wood line. I mean, makes it into the base as well. As Vinchester is kind of strapped for wood right now. He's basically taking wood right here, which is not very efficient, as you can see. More cavalry archers going forward, and yeah, Viper is he's not even all in either. He has 3 town centers. He's even producing from all 3 of them as well. So he's not actually even all in. He is making cavalry archers for hunts, which are cheaper, and this is exactly what hunts want to be doing. And Vinchester, that later castle age is really breaking him up right now. Like, he has to spam a lot of camels to try to keep himself safe. Now, camels will absolutely massacre these cavalry archers if they get close. Look how much damage they do if they get a nice hit there in there. It's a lot. This is definitely the case. So it's not like Viper can just sit on his laurels and just sit back and do nothing. If he doesn't micro his cavalry archers, Vinchester will get a lot of kills. So there's a lot of micro on the part for the Viper. It's Vinchester dropping a town center now on stone, and that means only one thing. That means he wants to get camel archers, and that makes it a lot of sense, because camel archers, if he can get to them, camel archers will absolutely wreck these cavalry archers. But for now, this ball of cavalry archers is slowly growing here, and Vinchester is going to have to keep himself as safe as he can. And one thing that will be a problem is the wood. There's only one wood line that he's taking wood from right now. This town center doesn't really shield wood. It will allow him to go to stone, but that's about it. And of course, Viper is more interested in taking out this gold for now, though. Camels coming out to try to snipe this. Camels coming in from the left as well, so the cavalry archers cannot run away to that way as well. So Viper will have to run away to the north. Again, sniping camels here and there. They're not that expensive, of course, for Berber. So this is the best thing that Vinchester could do right now. Just keep making camels, and push away these cavalry archers so you can still get your economy rolling. I think maybe getting a town center up over here might be an idea at some point as well. Of course, Vinchester sold some stone, so he doesn't quite have the resources to afford another town center, let alone a castle here. Camels going down quite quickly there. I mean, that ball of cavalry archers is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to get worse and worse for the camels, which just lack the pierce armor. They lack the pierce armor to fight against cavalry archers. Like, knights would do better in that regard, but knights will still, they don't do as much damage to cavalry archers that camels do. So it's really the trade-off. It's either tanking more shots or doing more damage, and you've got to ask yourself what it is you prefer there. Viper sniping a villager on the farms there with the ballistics on his cavalry archers, as Vinchester is raiding in the back of Viper's base with some camels now. Camels which have only 7 attacks, so it's not that great against villagers. Which is why camels are seen as a poor raiding unit, right? Because they only do 6 damage here, in this case, to the villagers, which is not a lot. Yeah, Vinchester, stand ground. Vinchester, don't just lose your camels for free. Okay, he just realized. He was probably busy dealing with these cavalry archer raids on the front of his base. Slowly getting a stone count up. There's not a whole lot of villagers on stone. He's trying to get his economy up first and had to drop a tower on the gold. That's a good tower, though. That's a good tower. That will keep the cavalry archers away for now, which lack armor at the moment. He's buying food to keep his TCs running. If he can get some farms up, then maybe... I like this TC, actually, on the right as well. Keeping some wood line safe, although, I mean, maybe a little bit forward would have been preferable there. Viper going to a third, a fourth, and a fifth town center now. 5 freaking town centers for the snake. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of TCs. His economy is going to be fantastic then. 80 villagers already for the Viper. Now, he's not producing from all 5 of those, I mean. So, like, the idle TC time is shooting up significantly, but that is already 28 cavalry archers on the field. They will have Thumb Ring in a second as well. And only 11 camels so far for Vinchester. He has to get a castle out. Has to get a castle out. It's of the utmost important that he gets a castle out. He has to have a castle out. Right now, you must have a castle, preferably put it on the gold or put it on the wood line right here. Would be nice for the castle so you can take this wood line safely. Something. You need to do something because this cavalry archer ball is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And Viper is committing to this as well. And he has the economy to spam them. As Vinchester, oh, he's selling stone. Oh boy. Oh boy, just so he can get some wood out for a mangonel. As a town center though, so at least these villagers are safe enough. Viper did not expect that TC to be there, so he's being pushed away right now. Camels on the left will push these cavalry archers away as well. Yeah, so Viper definitely doesn't want to lose his cavalry archer numbers here. There's a mangonel about to come out for the Vinchester, 78% though. Mangonel though, this is going to kill a lot of cavalry archers. I'm not sure if Viper is expecting it. 96%, 97, mangonel, and shot. Oh, on the wrong side. Okay, well, I guess I was wondering if he was going to try to surprise the Viper, but of course now that's going to be difficult. Again, stone count slowly rising there. There's 15 villagers on stone. Like, the urgency is definitely there. Nice shot there. Oh, nice shot. Nice shot with the mangonel there. Cavalry archers, no armor whatsoever. No armor whatsoever. They have bloodlines, but they lack the armor, which makes it very difficult to survive mangonel shots. That was a great shot for Vinchester, bringing Viper's cavalry archer numbers down significantly. But Viper, though, wants to drop a castle forward. Oh, boy. Has been on stone himself already. It's 97 villages, I mean, for the Viper. 84 for Vinchester, so he's definitely catching up a little bit. But the thing is, now you've got a forward castle on your face as well, which is probably where Vinchester wanted to build his castle. You know, on a stone, on a wood line, and Vinchester is going to be running out of wood here soon. And he's going to drop a TC now. Again, has to spend more stone. Again, delaying that castle. It's just getting worse and worse for Vinchester. And Viper is showing that even though Berbers in theory are a great matchup versus cavalry archers, is Viper going to wall this in? Is he going to wall in Vinchester? No, Viper. That's not going to... Well, I mean, if he gets these cavalry archers over there, I guess it will work. He's gonna wall in this. He's gonna wall in Vinchester. Poor Vinchester, man. Like, Vinchester's trying to get the walls up. Like, oh, I need to wall this out now. I don't think that's what you have to be concerned about. He can actually see this as well. He can see the villagers work right now. Viper. That's just too funny. That's too funny. What I was saying, though, just because Berbers are a great matchup versus Huns doesn't mean that Huns will always lose against Berbers. I've never said that either. I say there's no Civ win in Age of Empires. There is no Civ win in Age of Empires. There's no single Civ matchup that is always automatically a win for whoever gets that civilization. That doesn't exist. As Viper narrowly missing the villagers. Oh, he's going to check back. He's going to see it. Oh, he sees it now. Oh, boy. He sees the villagers now. He can't quite fight here now. Sniping the camels. Vinchester wants to get this castle up, but this castle doesn't defend his home. It doesn't defend his home. Viper is now aware of it. Is it going to be a doubt castle? Oh no, Vinchester. Why does the castle go up over here? It's GG. Oh god. And Vinchester calls to GG, but because the castle got found out. Oh no. Why not drop it safely at home? Make camel archers, push back Viper's ball, 54 cavalry archers. Oh god. I think all-in camel archers might have been the play here. Like, Vinchester dropped 3 town centers. That's 300 stone. It took a while to get the stone for a castle. I had to sell stone as well for wood. It just took too long to get to the counter of the cavalry archers. Too long allowing Viper to get this castle. But I think getting this castle first, getting wood, and then using stone for town centers might have been the better call here. Maybe some walling as well would have helped. Again, this proving my point that just because Berbers have a big advantage over Huns does not mean that Huns will necessarily lose every time. Because if you put on pressure and stop your opponent from getting to their counter, right? They will never be able to stop you. Like, that's why Britons have a great win rate against Goths. Because if you stop the Goth player from getting to a castle in the first place, what are they going to do to counter you? Go skirmishers and archers? Yeah, that's going to work out well. Like they want to get to Huskarls. Just in this case, Berbers want to get to Camel Archers. With Viper showing again that that there's no civ win in this game. With good play, you can technically win with every civilization against any other civilization. It all depends on your strategy. It depends on your skill level. It depends on your playing level. And Viper, yeah, got that early lead with the scouts as well. You know, and the fact that he was up faster as well, and kept his lead over Vinchester. And Vinchester, you know, despite that pressure, was never able to really counter the cavalry archers. And camels, camels are okay if the cavalry archers are in small numbers, but once the bigger numbers come out, that is when cavalry archers camels, I mean, kind of start to fall apart. I think skirmishers, elite skirm might probably be a better option than patrolling those around. But yeah, nice win there for the Viper. Very important win as well, setting him apart, keeping. That's not what I wanted to say. Giving him the lead again in this series. And Vinchester again will have to win a game to even it out once more. Looking at their statistics here as well. Look at that. At the KD there, 64 to 40. Yeah, much better KD for the Viper. That's what cavalry archers will do for you. And look at that army high as well. 56 army high here for the Viper. Only 16 for Vinchester. Yeah, he wanted to go to a castle. If he had gotten a castle up around here, when the cavalry archer numbers were not that big, I think he would have been okay, because he could have been starting to make camel archer himself, and camel archers, of course, will be able to kill cavalry archers quite easily. Would have forced Viper into something else as well. Yeah, it would have gone completely different, but that faster castle type for the Viper, and then the fact that he just boomed behind all this allowed him to get so many cavalry archers out. It was so good, stopping Vinchester from counterattacking as well. That's not really what camels were designed for, anyways. Yeah, much better villager count, but not village. I mean, Vinchester was not too far behind, and the reason for that was that he did add 3 town centers as well. So I mean, at least there's that. But you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter how many villagers you have when you lose, because you still lose, right? Any case, GG, and another score there for the Viper. And there you go. Let's see if we have a game 4. All right, we're getting in the thick of the series now. Yep, game 4 is there, and I can only imagine, you know, playing 4 games is one thing, but imagine if you have to play 9 games. How exhausted do you have to be after that? I can only imagine. Like, you have to be in top shape to be able to perform well here, especially in a long series, which seems like it would favor the Viper. I think maybe endurance-wise, Viper has always shown to be a trooper in that regard, so it's going to be challenging for Vinchester for sure. And let's see, there you go, the 4th game is there. Let's hop into that, and let's let's continue the series. I don't think there's going to be any spec delay either. Oh, a bit of spec delay. I guess that allows us to look at the draft really quickly then. Let's see, a win with Huns. Hang on, there you go, and a loss with Berbers. That's a big loss as well for Vinchester, because again, Berbers Huns should be a fairly easy win if you get the counter out. But if you can't get the counter out, then you saw it doesn't have to be an easy win at all. Yeah, as for Vinchester, I wonder what he's gonna go for. It's only gone for cavalry or cavalry archer civ so far. So I wonder if he's gonna try his hand as an archer civ here. Maybe Incas, Ethiopians, Britons, and if Viper is gonna counter maybe if he's gonna continue the cavalry archer play with Tatars, not having to worry about Berbers now. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so you guys will see in a second here. Rewind a little bit, and here we go. Alrighty, well, here we go. Indeed, Vinchester has gone for Inca, so a civ that is normally played as an archer/eagle civ, because of course you don't get cavalry, so that makes a lot of sense. Incas is a very good civ for Vinchester indeed. Viper though has gone for Lithuanians, and oh my god, look at that hill! Wow, if you've ever seen steep hills around your base, now that's a hill. You're literally in a bowl. It's a little Viper bowl, as you can see. It's all cozy. It's all cozy. Now, if you want on top of that, that's not half bad actually, because you know your walls will take less damage from your opponent. But still, if your opponent on any point of this ring around your town gets a nice position, that's a nightmare scenario for the snake. Yeah, Vinchester doesn't have that many hills around this town. Of course, he has some hills, but still. I see that it is a very open Arabia generation for players. Look at that. Wow, that is a wasteland right there. And the same thing over here. And oh god, for Vinchester, that's awful. Look at how awful this map is. We have back wood, right? One of those wood lines is barely a wood line at all. Then we have a forward main gold on a hill, and all the other secondary golds are forward as well, and the berries are forward. This is a nightmare map. This right here, nightmare map. Really bad, especially if you're Incas as well, up against the more mobile Lithuanians. You want to keep yourself safe, and are you going to be able to do that with Incas? That is the question. It's going to be almost impossible to wall this. As for the Viper, yeah, his map is not much better, but significantly better so, I'd say, in comparison. His 2 wood lines, no oasis in there, so he has more wood available to him as well. His main gold is forward on the hill as well, and again, there's this very nasty ring of hills around his base, as you can see. But berries are slightly to the back and has an extra gold in the back as well. And this gold, oh wow, and this gold is also kind of in the back. You know, it's all the way out here, but still further away from Vinchester. You might not even scout that if Viper is lucky. Yeah, but still, having this extra gold, if you wall right there, that gold is fairly safe, actually. So you actually have some options beyond your main gold. Whereas Vinchester, yeah, he doesn't have any options beyond his main gold. And Mesosips without gold are not that great. Not that great. Yeah, Vinchester now taking the wood line as well. 4 on wood, that's normal. I wonder if he's going to go for a pre-milled rush once more. We'll see. We're about to see it then, I guess. If the barracks is going to go up now, let's see. Yep, there you go. A barracks going up and a pre-milled rush it is. Viper, though, still hasn't found Vinchester yet. Sees the ostrich now. Knows, okay, ostrich, that should indicate Vinchester might be near. Oh, but he's going this way. Oh, Viper might think that Vinchester's over here. But now you see a relic. Relics never spawn that close to players. So that should immediately tell you, okay, he might not be on this side then. And oh, Viper doesn't know. He doesn't know where Vinchester is because Hunt does spawn across the map. See, there's some. Oh, well, those are camels. But look, see, there's some Hunt over here as well. Right, so you never know. You never know if the Hunt that you're seeing is actually the Hunt of your opponent or just random Hunt. And Viper is looking, circling back now, going south to see this. And this is buying Vinchester precious time to get some more militia out and maybe send them forward before Viper is aware that this is happening. Viper, of course, didn't scout it, is going to go to a mill. And I'm not sure if he's planning to go for militia at all, because with Lithuanians, with the extra food, you have a lot of flexibility. You can do a whole lot of things, especially go up fast and go for scouts. Like, look at the food count for Viper already. He's already almost ready to click up here. Yep, it's going to be 19 pop, and I think you should think that is a scout rush coming in for the Viper. But Vinchester is thinking about moving forward with his militia. Let's see where they are. They're right there. Let's follow these as a Viper. Oh, where's Viper, actually? Viper still, he's scouting right now, and now he knows. Now he knows Vinchester has to be on this side, sees the main gold, goes forward as well, and luckily for him, he's going to run into the barracks immediately as well. But it is 6 minutes, 7 minutes, so that might still mean militia can come out as well. So let's see what Viper's reaction is at home. He's gonna wall towards the DC. I think that's a good idea, but it's too late. It's too late. The Drush is already here. Because Vinchester had the time, right? Was lucky enough that Viper didn't spot this. Viper's trying to trap these militia in so they can't harass him anymore. Vinchester, definitely be careful. Waiting for his eagle to come in as well to join the fight. And how are you doing, Rock Knuckles? Hey to you! Good to see you, man. Good to see you. As Vinchester is trying to get this villager from Viper. I don't think Viper's going to let her die, though. But yeah, lots of idle time now caused by this Drush, as Viper was trying to get up to the next stage. But the thing is, going up this soon means that you have less time working as... Oh, Vinchester taking a lot of damage on these militia. That was not good. That was not good there. Ay. Yeah, but like what I was saying, like going up so early with Lithuanians also means your villagers are working less time, right, during you know, the time that you spent going up. So sometimes you'd end up with not enough wood to get a stable out, actually. Viper will have enough wood, though, so at least he can make a unit to counter now. Stable should go up here. Yep. What does sub mean? Yo mama. Well. well. Haven't we showed up to make our yo mama jokes, huh? Heh. Yeah. Good old Knuckles. And, yeah, stable is going up now. Stable is going up, so at least you can make some scouts now. Scouts should be able to take a fight against an eagle and a weak militia, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. What is Vinchester going to do on the back foot, though? Well, for one, clicking up is on gold, so it's not going to be scouts, for one. That's unlikely to happen. At least, es el diminutivo de what's up. Exactly. Exactamento. if that's a word. I might just be making it up. You know, as when you well, I know what sup means, of course. I know what sup means. I've lived on the internet long enough to know abbreviations, obviously. Exactly. Ka-ching, seems good indeed. As Viper, yeah, bringing his scouts forward as well. It's not even worth it to send the scouts back to deal with the militia. It's better to just send it forward. As there's a villager over here. Viper is looking for that vill kill. Vinchester has a few villagers on wood line there. Walling this out, that's very nice. But still villagers that can be ranged on this side. Quick walls. No quick walls. And the villagers have to run away now. Ay. Or if you can still wall it in. Maybe. Bring out a spearman. Okay, that's good. That's good. There you go. Pushing away this pressure now for Vinchester. Yeah, but again, Vinchester's base, if you look at how it generated, is awful. Just awful. He's going to wall to his DC. That's probably the best he can do here to keep these scouts out a little bit. Wall just a little bit more. The scouts can still get in. This is when you just kind of walk and just put a little bit of HP on each palisade wall so that at least the foundation blocks the scouts from running through. As Viper is making a bunch of scouts, probably sees how bad the map for Vinchester is, and I think the Viper, if he wants to, might even go all in feudal here. You know, I mean, both players have a bad map, but Viper has a better map because his gold is potentially safer. Archer rate is going up, something that Vinchester can easily see because he still has a scouting militia there that Viper didn't kill. But at least Vinchester will not be surprised by what Viper is about to do here. But Vinchester, of course, doesn't really have the time to be surprised anyways because he's busy dealing with the scouts in the back of his base, as you can see. A lot of yellow scouts right there. Aye. Yeah, and also, how do you wall something like this? Is Vinchester just gonna drop a tower on the gold because he knows, you know, like let's just drop a tower already because it's gonna be bad either way anyways. As Viper tries to get in on this tower as well, Vinchester walling it in though with some palisade walls, very nice because of course a tower does not save you from scouts. It doesn't save you from scouts. Oh, wall that, very nice. Okay, good. That was very low HP. Again, if the scouts get in on the gold, that's not good. That's not good. That's in this situation, those kind of things lead to a GG scenario very quickly. As the scouts from Viper still roaming around, still no eco kill whatsoever this entire game. So just proving once more how good both these players are at keeping their economy alive. You know, you have 5 scouts running around in your base and you not lose a single village. That's impressive. Definitely is. You know, both players are pretty good like that. As we still have a sneaky scout from Vinchester. Vinchester is happily scouting around a little bit. You know, but if Viper is not going to kill the militia can still scout. You know, that's great line of sight. It gets tracking for free. You know, if you were around here for for the HD version, I think. Was it still in that version? I think so. Yeah, in the HD version, you still had tracking as a technology. It gave your infantry more line of sight, and no one ever got that upgrade because it was barely worth it. So you got it for free now in feudal. It's a research automatically, basically. We have another tower going up for Vinchester. Of course, towers are cheaper for him. This is very nice to have on a stone as well. So definitely wants to remain on stone and get more towers up. But yeah. Vinchester though looking to click up here. Viper doesn't have as much food as Vinchester. Vinchester has not made a lot of military at the same time as well. Where is his military right now actually? Let's see. Archers just posted at home defensively, but they can't really help in this fight. Not when skirmishers are here. Although they don't have a lot of upgrades, honestly. Vinchester about to click up though. Needs his second building though because he still needs 100 food, but then he's about to go. Viper though, right on the back of that is going to click up as well. Is getting his farm count up, 14 farms for him. Very nice. Is Viper not really sure where to do damage right now because of the towers? It's fairly impossible to do a lot of damage as it stands. So instead, why not just get rid of the barracks here because that is something that the Inca player is most likely going to use. As we have Vinchester making an Eagle Scout nonetheless here in his barracks. He's dropping another barracks as well, so I wonder, is it going to be Eagle Stand for him? As a group of archers is being sent forward to Viper's base. Ooh, but that might lead to some damage then. That might lead to some damage. The left side of Viper's base is not walled up. There's still some exposed villagers on this side and this side that could be killed here. As Viper's army is mostly at home. Viper does not see Vinchester's army to counter this. You know, he's been hammering away at this barracks for a while now. Hasn't seen a counter army for Vinchester, so the question is, where are the archers? Because you did see the archer range. Where are the archers? He did make some, you know that. Where are they? As the barracks is about to go down as well. Vinchester kind of waiting for the moment to engage against this, but at the same time wants to run in here. Now Viper can see the archers. Archers do have fletching as well. Could kill some villagers here. One villager is definitely going to go down here. Viper immediately having to run with all his wood line there. Look at that. He did not expect those archers from Vinchester to come into his base. And Vinchester getting a lot of value right now for sneaking all the way around. He's also about to get the crossbow upgrade maybe as soon as he hits Castle Age. As, Viper still fighting against the barracks as well, but Vinchester keeping it up because you don't want to lose that barracks if you can help it, at least, because you can still produce from that. And you definitely need multiple barracks to produce eagles as well. Villager has to run away, another villager has to come forward now to repair this. Viper at the same time has to defend in the back of his base against the archers. Another villager kill. Vinchester's not patrolling, he's just running away right now. Oh, he could have killed a villager. Could have killed a villager there. Gets Castle Age. Let's see, is he going to get the crossbow upgrade? As Vinchester using the eagles right now against the skirmishers. And eagles are really good against skirms as well. Viper a little bit on the back foot here. Later Castle Age for him, and Vinchester still has archers in his base. This is not looking too good for the Viper right now. Not looking too good for the Viper at all. I'm also not really sure what the plan is. It's going to be knights. Okay, never mind. It's going to be knights. I'm looking for the second stable for now, but I'm not seeing a second stable just yet. As Viper is bringing back military. Vinchester going to a gold up there, getting a town center up. I approve big time of that one, because you're going to need some control of gold, because this gold is not that safe. Not against knight, that is, because they'll still run in and kill the tower. If they can, that is. Which they can. Vinchester still being very annoying in the back. Is he going to get another villager? No! Viper microing that villager away, dodging the shot, and Vinchester thought he had her, so he microed against the scouts. Now going to try to kill as many scouts as he can, but Viper will be very happy with this. 2 scouts going down, though. A 3rd scout still alive. It's a micro. You might actually still stay alive. No, Vinchester's going to try, but now a knight comes out. Nope, that's not going to happen. No weak villagers on the wood line as well. Vinchester sees the knight, is going to get a monk out as well, as he, running in with some eagles at the front of Viper's base. Viper is fully walled now on the left. As you can see, fully walled on the left. So at least there's some holes in the front of his base, which eagles could run through in theory. But yeah, it's still Eagle Scout for now. And Eagle Scout do not do well against knights at all. Oh, Vinchester! Vinchester, you cannot lose your Eagle Scouts like that. Eagle Scouts cannot fight knights. You have to get the Eagle Warrior upgrade first, because Eagle Scouts do not do any bonus damage versus knights. At least I don't think so. Do they? Oh, a little bit then. Okay, so they get bonus damage against cavalry in the Castle Age. Okay, there you go. There you go. But Eagle Warriors get more bonus damage, so better. Much better. Vinchester, yeah, I mean, he had a slight little lead over Viper, but Viper immediately spamming some knights, so it's going to push that right back. Now, Vinchester is on a 3rd town center as well, as you can see over here on the stone. I like that if you want to get a castle up. At the same time, we got some eagles trying to break through into Viper's goal, but that's not going to happen. He's just going to run away and see if he can avoid the knights before he gets the Eagle Warrior upgrade. But with 12 villagers on food, it's going to be hard to afford that upgrade. Yeah, but just definitely wants to get the Eagle Warriors upgrade, I should think. He's not making a whole lot of eagles right now, though. So I think maybe a bit of adding his economy first, and then attacking with a massive infantry. Now, Viper is also going to go to stone, so he really wants stone then. That's pretty clear. If you look at Viper's stone positions, yeah, they're both fairly poor, so I guess Viper really wanted to get a castle up, maybe against Incas, maybe a forward castle that has been successful in game 1 and 3 for him so far. As yeah, they also got the light cap upgrade, probably expecting monks to be out. Vinchester's trying to save his monk there in the town center, gets to save his monk, very nice. At the same time, bringing in a relic here, but now we will know that Viper will have some light cap on the field, and his monks will have to be protected by some spearmen, or hop into TCs where necessary. Getting sanctity as well will allow them to live longer. This is all good. It's all good stuff. Vinchester's going to try to go for a conversion, but the conversion is going to take a while to get in. And yeah, that's just the chances of that happening now after basically the change on the monks here are low. As the monks surviving there as well, so it can be healed up again. Yeah, Vinchester very happy bringing in a relic. That's a 2nd relic already, and that's definitely a nice lead in that. I mean, Viper might. I mean, there's a good reason, right? There's a good reason why you want to be collecting your relics this time around, because you do not want the Lithuanian player to, allow them to get relics out. You don't want them to get relics at all. As Viper is gonna get 2 relics at least, so his knights are definitely going to have full upgrades at the very least in the Imperial Age. As did he just drop the relic there? He just left the relic right next to his base. Is he gonna try to bait Vinchester into trying to steal that or something like that? Vinchester can actually see the last relic. I wonder if Viper's going to try to go for that last relic to try to steal that. But I should imagine that Vinchester probably... I mean, you want to get that third relic, because if you can get 3 relics, immediately Lithuanians just become a generic cavalry civ. That's it. If they can get a third relic, though, then suddenly their knights can become significantly stronger in Imperial Age as well. Although in Castle Age, remember, in Castle Age, they still have extra to attack. It's just in Imperial Age, they don't get Blast Furnace anymore. So that basically that evens out there. Yeah, the more relics they have in Castle Age, though, the better it is for the knights. 9 knights on the field for the Viper. A castle going up for Vinchester, which Viper now sees as well. Something he can't stop. And yeah, Viper's interested in getting this third relic. And Vinchester should be interested in stopping that. Which he is. Sending out his monk now. He sees the knights and he's going to try to run away just in time before Viper sees it as well. Let's see what Vinchester's going to do. Is he going to allow Viper to take that relic or not? Well, honestly, I don't think there's much that Vinchester can do about it. I don't think there's much that he can do about it except with an archer. Snipe the monk, snipe the monk. Oh, the monk is very weak. One more shot and it goes down. Anything can kill this monk right now. Look at that. Vinchester's sending in the eagles. He's sending in the eagle scouts because now there's a chance to get this relic. The game is still on as Viper moving away with his knights now, and then the eagle scouts finding the monk, and boop, there you go. There you go. The monk goes down, and Viper probably not happy about that. He's like, but that's my relic, damn it. My relic. Has to send another monk forward now. Also heavily on stone so he can drop a castle somewhere. And Viper, he wants that relic, posting out his knights, but the delay might allow Vinchester here to go for Kameyuk. Kameyuk? I love it though. As, oh boy, 4 villagers as well. Don't show the villagers though. Don't show the villagers. Viper was looking. He saw. Oh, he sees the villagers. He knows exactly what's happening right now. He knows he's about to be castle dropped. Viper going forward as well. These knights cannot engage against that. Monk going forward to get the relic, but Viper needs his knights right now to defend himself. Archer Rangers going up. He saw the Kameyuk. He saw the pikeman. Needs something. Monk getting the relic as well. Is he going to get it back to his base though? As Viper is about to get a castle right on his face, and Viper sees that. And, oh, put it further. Yes, exactly. Yes, on top of the hill. There you go. There you go. Now, that's a castle. That's a castle right there. Will that castle go up, though? Viper dropping a castle right next to it. Who is going to get this castle up? There's monks over here as well. Much more military on the field. Viper committing to his castle as well. That's a lot of villagers. 21 that are building it. But Vinchester can use the monk trick. No, use the monk trick! Vinchester, use the monk trick! Just keep selecting all the villagers with your monks. Just select, convert. That way they run away from the castle and you can get your castle up as well. Oh! Oh god, but they can range all the villagers. No, Vinchester, why? Oh god, not another doubt castle. It's a doubt castle. At the same time, knights raiding Vinchester's base. And what is happening? Vinchester, he was looking fine. The Vil count was looking fine. The military count looking fine as well. Vinchester's gonna drop a castle right next to it so he can get that one up. I mean, honestly, like, just send a unit in and dodge shots, right? There's no ballistics on this castle. And just dodge shots and then get the castle up, maybe. But, oh, what a disaster. What a disaster. If we only use the monk trick, like what you do, right? When your opponent is building a castle, take a monk and just rapidly click all the villagers and convert them for a second. Because when you do that, the villagers walk away from the foundation, and that delays your opponent and just enough, right? Just enough as Vinchester deals with the knights in the back, just enough to allow you to get the castle up. I think if he had done that with those 4 monks, he would have been able to get the castle up. I think so. Yeah, it would have been just kissing castles instead of having 2 castles now that are not really, well, one of them is not really completed. 76%, Vinchester's trying to get it up now. Is he, ooh, the Viper's castle is not shooting at it right now, so it looks like the castle will in the end go up. 96, 97, yep, that goes up. And now it's 2 castles on your face. That's good for Vinchester, who has also clicked up the imp. And Viper, though he is also up the imp, it's now, Vinchester will be there significantly faster. We'll be able to get some traps out. And it's 2 castles to 1. And that is also a big difference as well. Vinchester has a defensive castle to defend himself. It can also make some pikemen to defend himself as well. And even though Viper now has 3 relics, yes he does, it's still going to be defensive for him. So Vinchester, despite having a little bit of a tricky moment there, is going to be okay here. And Viper is making Lightus. Well, I mean, Lightus have higher attack than a knight does in Castle Age. Also is affected by the relic bonus. So that is really nice, obviously, of course, as well. Now, skirmishers with Lithuanians are pretty sweet as well. They move a lot faster than normal skirmishers, so you can actually run away from a lot more units than you normally could, especially pikemen. I think Lithuanian skirmishers, you can't catch up with them, and also you can catch up with your opponent's archers. Not that that's going to be important right now, because that's not the unit that Vinchester is making. And Vinchester, he loves his Incas, man, and he's the only player that I've seen competitively that makes Kamayuks in a lot of his Incas games as well, in tournaments, that is. I think this is the second time. He did it in the semifinals too. Against Leary. Ended up being pretty good for him there as well. Actually, wasn't that also Lithuanians for Leary? Or was it Khmer? I think it was Lithuanians. Well, that's interesting. The same matchup again. As Viper, strapped for wood, is going to go down to the wood line down here. Yeah, this wood line is kind of depleted. That's really it for the Viper. Has a wood line in the back. Is he aware of that? Oh, he doesn't know about that wood line. He doesn't know about that wood line because this DC would never have gone up on this wood line had he known about that. Vinchester getting out his traps. There's 2 traps for him. There's already 1 castle about to go down. You know, as Viper is ram pushing the castle for Vinchester right now, but Vinchester happily using some pikemen to block that. So every time Viper gets near with his rams, Vinchester will just sacrifice a few pikemen there. Castle for Viper is about to go down. Did get conscription though. It's an important upgrade to have, but yeah, if you want to go for Lightest, I didn't think that was going to work anyways because all the cavalry counters on the field already, and the castle crumbles down. So yeah, production is going to be an issue at that. As Vinchester is raiding the farmland with Kamayuk. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love the Kamayuk. I mean, they definitely kill cavalry quite fast. They do have a pretty solid bonus against that. As villagers are, yeah, kind of running around. It's 106 villagers for Viper, 95 for Vinchester, but all the momentum in the world for Vinchester right now is Viper switching into hand cannoneers. Now, that is a pretty good unit. A pretty good unit there. But remember, hand cannoneers still die to archers, right? So if Vinchester sees that, he can go for some archers, some arbalest to counter that again. I wonder. I mean, they are counted as ranged units, so they don't get countered by slingers, I think. And also, they absolutely massacre slingers anyway, so yeah. Now, Vinchester sees the hand cannoneers now, so he knows that that's on the field. So let's see what the counter is going to be from on his part here. Bombard cannons coming out for the Lithuanian player, of course, something that Vinchester does not have access to. As the monks, one monk getting shot in the face by a cannonball. Now, that is a good way to say, wow, 3 monks going down as well. Vinchester saving one of his monks, but that's 2 monks. Yeah, 2 monks going down in a short succession there. There's now traps coming out from the Viper as well. He's repairing his castle on the hill to try to keep this up. A castle for Vinchester going down. It's still a tricky situation here for Vinchester. I don't think he has a fast answer against the gunpowder here. Just like the real Incas, that is a difficult situation to be in. As another castle of Vinchester is about to go down here against the bombard cannons, there's not much he can do here. He's going for elite skirm, but is that the answer against skirmishers? You gotta ask yourself. Remember that hand cannoneers, they're not just an anti-infantry unit, which they have 10 bonus damage against. That's true. They're also an anti-high pierce armor unit. So skirmishers actually not that great against hand cannoneers. It might be the most cost-effective counter that you can go for, but still, not that great. Not that great at all, as I think Viper got a Kamayuk converted as well. Look at that. It's a traitor Kamayuk. As Vinchester is trying to repair his trebuchets, he's still trying to get rid of Viper's traps. He got 1 at least. The castle, of course, staying up for now. Viper is heavily on stone, and the score switched in the favor for Viper. And this is the moment where, what are Incas going to do against this? What do they do against hand cannoneers? Because infantry might not save you. This might be the one of the only units that Incas are going to struggle against. Just like Aztecs would as well, actually. It's a good question. I actually don't have a clear answer here. I think Arbal is probably the best option that you have, with the range and the high attack that you can do with them. Skirmishers, though cost effective, still die to this. Even 8 pierce armor is not going to save you when your opponent has 17 attack. It still does not. That's still 9 damage. What, is that 9 damage? Yeah. 9 damage. Crazy. And Viper, despite getting castle dropped by Vinchester, is slowly pushing this force back across the middle as well. Vinchester, no ballistics on his skirmishers just yet, so these skirmishers are not that great. And I don't think Eagle Warriors is the trick either. Hand Cannoneer do really well against Eagle Warriors nowadays because they fire faster, which is effectively increasing their damage per second. The best that Vinchester can do, I guess, is just avoid the hand cannoneers for now and just raid on the farmlands with your Kamiyuk, sending eagles in, maybe raiding the Viper to death with some eagle raids might be an idea. He is getting the Eagle Warrior upgrade right now, so I think that might be the plan sooner or later. But of course, Vinchester will have to keep his castle up because his own base might be at peril here as well. Still 125 villagers for him, but yeah. That has redemption on his monster. This is good. Can convert a bomber cannon. Is he gonna get one? He gets one. Oh, that's good. It's gonna get a shot. Oh, but it gets shot down. Okay. Viper not tolerating any dissent there. And how are you doing, Lord Roderick? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. That Viper doesn't tolerate any dissent. You betray him, you die. As, ooh, another conversion now. Getting redemption here is really good against the bomber cannons. Also, with block printing, allows you to get more, you know, to attack this with more range. But the castle is close to dying here. Vinchester, though, raiding the gold. And Viper hasn't paid attention to this yet. Okay, now he's reacting, but a bunch of villagers going down. The Kamiyuk raiding is still real. But Vinchester, is he going to have the resources to spam eagles here? That's the question. Can't access this gold right now. He's expanding to the west out here as well, but that's actually where Viper is as well. Vinchester's thinking about it. Is he going to have the time as he tries to convert this bombard cannon, but he can't have it. The freaking hand cannoneers. Hand cannoneers are in a great spot right now. They're in a great spot right now. They're actually really strong. I mean, just the other day on Nomad, I got absolutely wrecked by someone going hand cannoneers with Bohemians in Castellate. It wasn't even close. Like, I mean, there was a whole lot of other stuff happening as well. It was a very wacky Nomad game, but he just made some hand cannoneers. There was nothing I had. You know, like, yeah, knights will work if you have a lot of them, but I only, you know, I just made it a Castellates, for Christ's sake. It was a team game. Wasn't the best one, honestly. Elite Eagle Warrior now coming in for Vinchester. So he's still hoping to raid here as the hand cannoneer is dealing with the raids on his, well, actually, the raids are already over. Some Kamiyuk over here. Vinchester sneakily taking some gold over there, which Viper is not aware of. He can't quite see that. Oh, he barely saw it with the trap, actually. Almost saw it with the trap. Vinchester still on the back foot here. Still has to deal with all these hand cannoneers. Now, hand cannoneers are still an expensive unit, and still, I mean, any hand cannoneer, any one of the hand cannoneers you can kill is a win there. Oh boy, Viper seeing the villagers for Vinchester now. Vinchester is going to have to defend this now. He's going to have to defend this. That's a lot of villagers that could die here for Vinchester. It's 142 villagers for him, 114 for Viper only, but that might even out fast here as 13 villagers are about to die, and Vinchester is just running out of options. If he cannot get his Eagle Mass out, what is he going to do here? Buying some stone here so he can get a town center up on his gold on the farms over here. Ay. Yeah, that's still a forward town center that can easily be ranged. Also going to stone. Going to the extra stone maybe for an extra castle to keep himself a little bit safe. So running away with the villagers. Happening to run into the villagers for Viper now. You know, building a mining camp there. So I guess they're just going to have to share gold as both sides are pelting their villagers with skirmishers. Of course, there's more skirms for Vinchester here. Vinchester's still in this game. He's still holding on. If he can get his elite Eagle Warrior, group up here, and they have full upgrades already. You're missing the Castle Age upgrade, Fabric Shields, I think that's what it's called. You know, which will give them extra melee and pierce armor. As Light Gap now coming in from the Viper here, he's going to go for some Light Gap raids to counter the skirmishers. Ay. I think Hand Cannoneer Light Gap is a stronger composition than Eagles and skirmishers, honestly. You know, especially if you want to use these Eagles against. Yeah, I mean, skirmishers die really quickly to light cap, and eagles die really quickly to hand cannoneers. But hand cannoneers don't die as fast to skirmishers as light cap die to eagles. Yeah, especially because light cap can run away. Yep, there you go, run away. So many hand cannoneers, almost to the point where you're like, you almost need onagers or something like that to shoot them at this point. You know, but even then, you don't have the range. Actually, onagers with siege engineers outrange hand cannoneers, so actually you could do that. As Viper going for Winged Hussar right now, an expensive upgrade, but it will make these light cap infinitely better as well. And Vinchester, he's getting crossbow right now. He's thinking about it. No, he canceled the upgrade again. I guess, yeah, it would be too late to switch into crossbows right now. It would be too late to switch into arbalest right now to deal with that. Because the light cap will be all over you. As Vinchester, no, that's Viper actually. Viper wants to drop a castle on this gold right now. Vinchester abandoned that, and yeah, it's just looking increasingly better for Viper there. As he's starting to put put the stranglehold on Vinchester here, who's forced to fight with Elite Eagles. But let's see, Elite Eagles will absolutely get massacred. Absolutely get massacred by the hand cannoniers. Look at that. Look, it's not even close. It's not even close. Look how fast they die. And that's an expensive unit as well. Yeah, Vinchester has to keep using spending skirms at that. We have light Wingsters are raiding over here as well. You know, Eagles cannot be at all places at the same time. Vinchester also is going to run out of wood at his own base. He's not fully walled as well, which is kind of was already going to be impossible with this map. I mean, he held on much longer than I expected him to here, honestly, as he stonewalled this. Well, okay. But yeah, Vinchester is going to lose a lot of villagers right now. And especially over here, skirmishers are not going to save you against a winged hussar with 100 HP. Oh yes. Oh yes. And of course more base attack. Now Vinchester forced to deal with these raids in the back of his base with Eagles now, and allowing Viper just to expand his economy, expand his reach over the map and his map control, and of course raid the front, which is a goal that Vinchester wants to access. He doesn't really have a lot of gold. And what is the thing here? So we have Halberdier coming out as well. So I guess it's going to be full infantry perhaps for Vinchester, but full infantry still dies to this. Still dies to the hand cannoneers. Ay. I mean, Viper hasn't won just yet. Vinchester is giving it his all here. He is giving it his all. This is a fantastic game already, man. Fantastic game already. You know, and a fantastic series already, honestly. Vinchester is not willing to let go here. He also knows you do not want to be 2 games behind the Viper, because it's going to get really difficult to come back in a series like that. It's still 54 military in the field. His population still looks okay, but Viper is at 200 pop. Viper is at 200 pop, which Vinchester is not. Vinchester trying to drop a castle now on the south here. Will that even go up, as Viper can see that? He can see that, sending in the winged hussars as well. There's no army here to deny it. Is this a doubt castle? It needs 45%. The hand cannoneers being brought in as well, but the winged hussars should be sufficient to deny this. Ay. So many villagers dying for Vinchester. His Vulcan about to drop below 100 perhaps. So he's bringing in the Halberdiers now to deal with this, but again, that was an expensive loss. Bringing out the trebuchets as well. I guess he wants to trap down Viper's castle on the south here. For now, all the attention to this side. I think if I were Vinch, wall like crazy. Just get stone walls up. I know it takes forever, but just commit to stone walls, honestly. Just try to wall between your buildings, something. You need to stop the light cap raids from happening, because Viper will raid you to death. You know, the thing that you want to be doing with Elite Eagle Warriors, you know, you want to have them all over here. Is that a siege ram? Did he just make a siege ram there? Viper. Just Viper things, man. That must have been a misclick, honestly. He's been making bombard cannons as well. That's hilarious, though. Look at that. Nah. That's really funny. Really funny. But yeah, Halberdiers will absolutely get shredded by the hand cannoneers. But at least the Halberdiers allow you to get close to the hand cannoneers, right? Allow you to get close to maybe do some damage. I mean, the Eagles still have high damage output, killing a lot of them as well, but look how many Eagles die, how fast they die. 2 bombard cannons down, 3 bombard cannons down, and Vinchester realizes I cannot replenish that. It is GG, and Viper takes the 4th game, but not without a fight. Vinchester definitely made him work for that one. But in the end, late game Lithuanians with hand cannoneers looking really good. And I'm keeping that in my mind. I'm keeping that in my mind if I'm ever up against Incas with Lithuanians. Late game, hand cannoneers, a really good unit there. Yep, a hand cannoneer buff is indirectly a nerf of of Mesosers, because they don't get that unit and it directly counters them pretty much. You know. Yeah, of course. Now Arbalest, if Vinchester had a large ball of Arbalest, I think Arbalest will do better than hand cannoneer, because they have more range, so it's easier to kill more hand cannoneer from a distance. But Vinchester didn't have it. He was thinking about it for a second at one point, but then he decided against it, because it would have taken too long to go for that. Also, you know, it wouldn't have stopped the immediate problem of the instant raids. Yeah, you're not walled whatsoever. I mean, it's almost impossible to wall this much of a map. You know, you'd have to commit half your economy to do that. You know, and then still Viper might just make a ram and punch right through, or siege tower. Yeah, if you wall, so Viper will be like, I'm prepared for that as well. I'm prepared for that. Being prepared for everything is a virtue, huh? Oh man, let's have a look at that KD, shall we? I mean, you could already see it in the bottom of the screen, but I'd like to have a look at it over here as well. Look at that, 315 kills there for the Viper, only 191 for Vinchester. Yeah, as soon as the hand cannoneers came out, it wasn't even close anymore. Wasn't even close, and I think it's good for Viper to not commit to cavalry here and allow Kameyuks for one to be a thing. And Yeah, hand cannoneer was the play. Was the play, and it worked out beautifully as well. And I think every Meso slash Eagle Civ struggles against gunpowder. And yeah, in combination with the Lithuanian winged hussars, that's I mean, they are one of the best hussars in the game. I mean, Polish hussars do trample damage, but Lithuanian hussars have more armor as well, so that makes them probably the best raiding unit in the game, honestly. Because trample damage doesn't really help you against villagers, really. It's pierce armor that does the trick there. So I think Lithuanian hussars for raiding, probably the best hussar in the game there. Yeah, it's really good. Looking at the economy, yeah, the economy for Vinchester actually better overall because he did have more villagers working, but Viper didn't need that many villagers. He just needed army there. I think there already was an excellent civ. They were. I loved Lithuania as a civ. You know, I loved getting paladins with how much attack was that? 16 plus 8, 22 attack. That was fantastic. Now it's only plus 6. Boo. Boo. I want blessed furthers back, damn it. I mean, I understand it because otherwise the winged hussar for Lithuanians would be too OP because I would have had, what? Would have had 13 attack in total. That's crazy. That's more than a fully upgraded Castle Age Knight. That's insane. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of relic gold for Viper as well. 3 relics will do that for you. The vill count, yeah, Vinchester making a lot more villages than Viper, but in the end he had less as well, lost a whole lot more as well, almost 102 villagers lost. And man, look at the speed as well. There was so much going on the map, you know, between the two players. With that Hussar too much, even though Viper played an excellent game. You know, he certainly did. Like, both players played excellently here. And I honestly thought Vinchester had it there for a while. But Viper defended himself and went for the right counter. And I love that hand cannoneers are now in a good position that you can actually do this. You can actually go for hand cannoneer, and it actually works out. You know, I know after the buff, right, I noticed that myself. It was a hideout game where I got someone spammed eagles at me, and I was Bohemian, so I thought, okay, you know what, we'll just go for some hand cannoneers. Worked out really well. It works perfectly. Eagles do not do that well against hand cannoneers. As you can see, they die fast. Unfortunately, there's just not much you can do about it. Hand cannoneers do what? What do they do? 27 damage to eagles. That's crazy. Alrighty, well, let's have a look if we have game number 5. And this is an important game for Vinchester. This is an important game for Vinchester. Because if he loses this one, that means Viper is at a match point. And if Viper is at a match point, then, well, you know, don't think Viper is going to give that up all too easily. Oh, there's game 5. I was just about to say let's have a look at the draft, but game 5 is just coming in right as I was thinking about it. So yeah, that's great. That is fantastic, of course. And let's get into the game, shall we? Get into the game. Blah, blah, blah. And there we go. Awesome. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, we can find it, so no issues there. No issues there, and let's have a look, shall we? Let's see if we have too much spec delay or anything like that. Oh, 112 seconds. Well, I guess we have time to speculate on the draft then. That's fun too, huh? That's fun too. Let's have a look. We have a win for the Viper here with Lithuanians. We have a loss with... where are they? Incas. Oh boy, that's one. Both using one of their top row civs there. I wonder what is Vinchester going to do here. What is he going to do? I mean, clearly Incas didn't work. I don't think he's going to give up Aztecs just yet. I wonder if maybe a Sicilian or like a Byzantine pick might be in order here. You know. I mean, Viper might go for cavalry archers again. Of course, that he loves his Tatars. You know, that worked well with Huns. It might work well again. Maybe he's going to counter with Khmer if he expects maybe Sicilians or something like that from Vinchester. Chinese is always on the table as well. So are Japanese and Saracens and Vietnamese. So lots of archer civs left. So the chances, Vinchester will notice, the chances that Viper will go for an archer civ are pretty significant. Yeah, so then the question is, what do you want to do? I mean, do you want to counter that with an archer civ of your own in Britons or with Aztecs, which get eagles, which is really good there? You know, although you, of course, hope you're not up against Japanese because they'll just go for champions, and Japanese champions are insane. Insane. And there's also Ethiopians, which is just, it's a good cavalry. I mean, cavalry. Hear me say Ethiopians being a good cavalry civ, please. Don't make me laugh. Ethiopians are technically, right, are a very good archer civ, but they have some weaknesses, which is why they're not picked as often as other civilizations. They're not a top tier archer civ in 1v1. Team games, it's a whole different matter, right? You can just spam crossbows and it's fine. But for the rest, Ethiopians, and they have great siege as well, but it's expensive to get to. Expensive to get to, so I don't know if that's possible at all, so we'll see. As the game is starting right now, so let's get into the game then, shall we? And here we go. Perfect. Alrighty, let's get started with the 5th game here between Vinchester and the Viper. And look at that, Vinchester has gone for Byzantines. We called it. We called that. We called it. And Viper has gone for Japanese, you know, as a, I guess, is that a counter to Byzantines? I mean, I wouldn't call it a counter, but I mean, Japanese, right? Like, what do Byzantines do well? They have great trash, but Japanese have great trash as well. They have, one, bloodlines on their hussars, so that's or do they get hussars? I think they do. They get hussars with bloodlines. That's one thing that's nice. You know, that's something that Byzantines don't get. And their halberdier are some of the best in the game. I think only Bohemian halberdier. Well, depends, right? Depends. I think Japanese halberdier are still better than Bohemian halberdier, which do more bonus damage, but only against cavalry, whereas halberdier from Japanese are just all around awesome because they just attack faster. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Anyways, that's just me rambling a little bit. Well, of course, we should be talking about the game at hand. Let's have a look at the map, shall we? We have 3 wood lines here, or 4 wood lines technically, but I still struggle to call that a wood line, honestly. More like a wood little squiggly line. I don't know. Yeah, but it's 3 wood lines nicely around Viper's base. It's a nice little triangle that you can wall in, as you can see. Berries in the back, he'll be happy about that. But of course, gold on the front, which is more difficult to defend. But look at Viper's back of his base. It's classic Viper map hacks. 2 extra golds, 2 secondary golds in the back of your base. Now, how lucky can you get? I mean, this one is still kind of forward, right? Because Vinchester can still come in from this side and hit that. But this gold is very safe. Very safe. Viper, happy snake. Good stone forward, though. So, all the stones for the Japanese player are forward. So, I guess if you want a castle, then that's not so much a thing there. You like better Byzantine against Japanese? You know, honestly, I think I agree with that. I think I agree. You know, like, it's just... Japanese are a versatile civ, but so are Byzantines. So are Byzantines. And Japanese aren't really, like, besides infantry, they don't really excel at any of the many options that they have, right? They're not, like, great at archers. They're not great at cavalry either. You know, they're good at all of these things, but not great. Infantry is great. Infantry is one of the best in the game. But the thing is, if you go infantry against Byzantines... Well, you're just asking to be rushed by a cataphract. You're just asking Vinchester to go for cataphracts here. So, which will absolutely smash any infantry unit that Japanese can make. Even halberdiers and even samurai. If you've ever played CBA, you know that samurai, they're an OP unit in that matchup because everyone has unique units, but not against cataphract. As Vinchester again going for a pre-milled rush here. He's maybe thinking about it. He did send that village to a rush, but then in the end deciding then it was a pre-milled rush. Viper again not going for a pre-milled rush. Let's see if Viper scouts it this time though. Let's see, where's his scout? Okay, yeah, he's gonna go this way. He should be able to run into Vinchester's base. Let's go Japanese, says Geomancer. Ah, we got a Jap fan as well then. I mean, I know that Spirit of the Law will be watching this and they'll be definitely rooting for Japanese here. You know. But then he will also be the first to tell you whether it's a good matchup or not, because that's what Spirit of the Law does. He tells the truth. Love his videos. Anyways, talking about Vinchester's base, actually, he has... His wood lines are kind of aligned in a nice way as well. You know, you can wall right here, then wall to the front of your TC. It's kind of easy to wall that. You got a sort of wood line in the back of your base. Viper now sees the militia. He's not going to be surprised by it like he was last time. So this time around, he can get his resources walled in. Or, and that's better, why not drop a barracks of your own and just go for some militia / men-at-arms yourself? I mean, at this point, right, it's villager number 18... that builds the barracks, or 17, I'm not sure which it was, but that's starting to look like a man-at-arms build. But it's going to depend on whether he's making militia before or after he clicks up. I think he's going to click up first here. Should update your title for... Wait, did I not update my title? Hang on a second. I didn't update my title. Stream title. Oh, I didn't! Man, you're right. Sheesh. Man, I can't believe that we didn't see that. Thanks, man. Where's Vinchester? I can't believe I missed that. Can't believe I missed that. That is bad. That is bad. Let me do that right now. That's very important, of course. Thanks, man. You're the only one who told me the truth. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I didn't notice it, and I'm supposed to notice it. That's my responsibility, of course. But yeah, I don't see the title anywhere on my screen right now, unless I go to the Twitch window, which of course I don't tend to go to that window very often. Only if I have to ban bots. You know, I'm usually just in my casting program. Got you. Well, thanks a lot, man. I'm glad I could count on you there. You know, like, seriously, like, if you catch me make a mistake or, like, I have something blocked with my overlay or something, please do tell me, because I'm too stupid to notice it. You know, I will probably not notice it, you know, so that's, and then, you know, it's been too many times where I was casting a game and I was, like, really excited about it, and then I look over at the screen and I was on the wrong scene and you guys couldn't see the actual game. And I actually feel so bad about that, because I've been casting for, like, what, 20 minutes without noticing that? Or, like, with the sound muted. Yeah, it happens. It happens. We're still learning. As yeah, Vinchester is clicking up at Viper in the end. He made some militia. He sent them forward as well, and there they go. That might be men-at-arms in a second there. You need some gold there. You need some gold, though. He's been taken off for gold a little bit, Viper. So he's going to take a little bit of resources there. Yep, there you go. Now the men-at-arm upgrade coming in for the Viper. So at least these will be men-at-arms, and Vinchester still in feudal age, but Vinchester has been able to wall a lot of his base. Still busy walling the back of his map. If he can get this part walled as well, I like his position. I like his position, because Viper will not be able to break in very easily here. Oh man. If Jesus tripped on, if Viper tripped on, why wouldn't you? Well, exactly. If Jesus can do it, and Viper, which is like AoE Jesus, man, shows you are human. I was about to say, making mistakes is human. That's why I'm never gonna, you know, not gonna be too worried about that. If anything, from mistakes you learn the most. Like when you rewatch your replays and you see, oh, that I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't very good. That's where you learn the most from. And now, Vinchester realizing now that houses aren't as strong anymore. They have -2 melee armor in Dark Age, and Vinchester went up significantly later than Viper here. And it was not only that, it's Japanese men-at-arms, and Japanese men-at-arms are scary, and they're in the back of your base now. Oh boy, all this walling for nothing. Okay, Vinchester is going to get some archers out then, but he's going to have to defend himself. Maybe wall in the gold. It's going to need another quick wall there. Is that a hole? It's so hard to tell. As the wood line might have to be abandoned here. No, Vinchester going to defend with his villagers there. Gets the house wall up as well, but look up as the palisade wall goes down as well. Downhill attack from Japanese men-at-arms is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, Vinchester is so distracted by this, he's not even paying attention to this right now. Viper, if I know Viper, I mean, he might even try to wall that in, but I guess Vinchester's paying attention now. So as the archers come out for Vinchester, or skirmishers, I guess, in this case as well, you will be able to deal with these men-at-arms in due fashion. But yeah, it's definitely a good head start there for the Viper there, killing a villager and also... you know, just delaying a lot of Vinchester's economy. Oh boy. Gold. We have, ooh boy. We have Vinchester still trying to use this little archer army, and he's actually going to get some value then. He is going to get some value then from this drush after all, and of course these villagers can still get hurt. One villager might actually die here. Ooh, but Viper. I mean, it's nice that he mills the hunt there as he's trying to save this villager. He's going to quick wall it in. Viper quick walls. Oh, but he's quick walling himself in with the militia and the villager. Is he going to be saved? No, he's going to go down. Oh, so close though. So close. Only Viper things. Now the thing is though, only 2 villagers on gold here, and this villager is actually idle right now, so it's not like Vinchester can bring out a whole lot of archers, but at least the eco KD is even out here between the 2 players, and Viper is also kind of stuck with these men-at-arms in Vinchester's base. His men-at-arms are not going to be able to do too much. Look at that. Look at that. You can't get near. This is like a game when when like bullies in high school steal like your keys or something like that and like start throwing them over your head, and then you just split up and you try to, you know, every time you advance towards one of them, they throw it to someone else, you know, and you can never catch them. Oh boy. Trauma. I think that's probably relatable for a lot of people as well. As we have a stable now going up for the Viper. I guess he wants to get some scouts out, seeing a whole lot of skirmishers from Vinchester, and not seeing a lot of archers from him. You might think, okay, it's Byzantines, that might be full trash play. So getting a stable up for some scouts is a good idea in this case. Which Vinchester should definitely be prepared for. He's making a spearman right now. I hope he's going to send that forward as well. Yep, there it goes. That's good. That's good. At least taking into account the fact that Viper is, you know, you gotta know your opponent there. Viper is smart enough to get a stable up, you know, once you go for full scrum, and especially if you're Byzantines, it's more than likely. So Vinchester will at least, at least expect Viper to expect this from him, right? He's trying to get to that villager as Viper quick walls a house really quickly to put some distance between the villager and the skirmishers. Now you see a scout. You already know you killed one scout, so Vinchester knows that must be a new scout, and that a stable has been made now by the Viper. So Viper trying to get these skirmishers before too much damage is done. Vinchester though trying to snipe the skirmishers here from the Viper, who is desperately trying to get in on the spearman. Spearman getting some hits in on the scout. That's really good. It's really good. As Viper, yeah, that wasn't the best fight for the Viper at all. I think he should have been more patient with the skirmishers there. Wait a sec until the scouts had massacred the skirmishers for Vinchester, and then you move in to kill the spearman. Because now, in the very end, it's still one spearman there, and the scouts for the Viper can't really do much. And now you invested a lot of food here as well, whereas Vinchester's food count is rising slowly there. He has 15 on food. He's getting to like 15 farms as well. Looking pretty good for the Vinchester. Has gold in the back of his base as well. That is fairly safe, as you can see. Yeah, I like Vinch's position now. I like Vinch's position now. Because he is also fully walled. That's something to keep in mind. Viper's not walled. Fully. Also, you can run into this wood line if he wants to. Yeah, Viper, he's taking wood on this side right now as good as he can. But Vinchester delaying him massively here. As Vinchester's looking to click up. Viper getting more upgrades on his skirmishers right now. Which will, of course, help him a bit against these skirms from Vinchester. Although, again, think about it, right? Think about it. Getting archer armor against skirmishes is not actually useful. Because you have 3 base pierce armor. That means that it negates the main attack already, right? It negates the main attack already. That's just 1. And the main damage that the skirmisher does against other skirms comes from the archer damage. The bonus damage that it does versus archer. So you do 4 damage then. Getting armor doesn't reduce that. As Vinchester with the trap there, stopping the archers and the scouts from getting in. Lost the villager on the wood line though, so at the same time that Vinchester is harassing Viper at the front, Viper has gone for a counterattack. Yeah, that's good. That's good, and the archers definitely doing some damage here. Vinchester, yeah, that hole wasn't plugged there, and that villager is very weak there. If Viper sees that, maybe will want to go for that. Yeah, Viper wants that bill. Once the villager gets the villager as well. 1 to 6 eco KD now. In the favor of Viper. So if Vinchester had a good position a second ago, now he's 4 villages behind. 4 villages behind. I mean, that is going to run up as well because he did click up the castellate here. That's, they have to be fair about that as well. Definitely keeping out this archer army for now. He's going to deal with that in the end. Viper's just looking for a weak villager. Just looking for a weak vill. Like, is there a weak vill in the farms I can snipe? Nope. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We'll just go back home then. Vinchester bringing back his force now. Of course, he has clicked up the castellate, so he will get there first. And the question is, what is the plan for him? Okay, another archery range. No, wait a second. Oh, no. Change of plan. Change of plan. And he's publicly going to show it as well, so Viper can see this now. He can see that stable go up. So it is a change of plan for Vinchester. He was going to drop an archery range, but instead it is going to be a stable, so I guess knights then. I guess knights. Or, yeah. Well, I mean, you start with knights. You never want to start making camels. Not against Japanese, because there's not you don't know if they're going to make knights against you. Although, remember, the stable is already up. Viper might make a knight here and there. But against Byzantines, it's just too easy to add camels. It's cheap, and it's like I said, it's affordable. As Viper and Vinchester both microing over here, both dodging shots as much as they can. Little engagement between skirmishers. Yeah, but Viper, of course, still has the better economy. Now, that is a 6 villager lead, but that is going to run, that's going to be decreased by at least 3 to 4 villagers there, as Vinchester is, already in castellate, where Viper is not. Viper, though, is going to try to stop this DC from happening. He probably knows that is going up, and Vinchester is going to have to deal with that. Vinchester's going to have to deal with that. The first knight should probably go this way to clear that up. Yep, there comes the knight. No upgrades on that whatsoever, though. But it is just feudalate skirmishes. As Vinchester trying to quick wall out this army. Is he going to lose a vill there? No, doesn't lose the villager. Now the knight comes in, and Viper will have to run away from that. Oh, Vinchester, don't donate the vill. Don't donate the vill. Oh, I don't know what that villager was doing there. Oh, and it goes down. Oh, that's such bad luck as well. You gotta hate it when the villagers don't listen. You know, when villagers are building a house and then the villagers like, oh, there's more building foundations up there. I am close enough. Let's go build that building as well. And then you're like, God damn it, stupid villager. Don't do that. I don't know why, but villagers are simply the dumbest units in the game, for sure. Dumbest units in the game. The kind of crap that they sometimes pull, you know, the kind of situation that they get themselves stuck in, and you have to save them, and then you lose villagers because they're idiots. And it's happened so many times, man. It's fairly tilting, as you can probably hear by the tone of voice. As Vinchester did in fact make a camel, and Viper is making it a knight. So I guess the camel will be worth it, as the knight pops out in the back of Viper's base here to deal with the skirmishes. But yeah, Vinchester bringing in his own knights as well. But yeah, remember, no bloodlines on the knights for Vinchester, so the knights for Vinchester are going to be significantly worse than the knights for Viper are, which is kind of funny, right? I mean, not like Japanese are a great knight civ or anything. Of course, Vinchester gets camels, so that offsets that again. At the same time, crossbows on the left side on Viper's base as well. Viper, where is he taking wood right now? Not over here, not over here, not down here. Only one wood line, and this wood line is getting ranged right now by so many crossbows. Viper quick walling and the quick walling out, I mean, the crossbows, so they can't make it to the villagers, and a lot of villagers escaping sudden death there. And I can't believe that after all of this, Viper has lost only one villager. It's crazy. Crazy! How does he only lose one vill here? How? How do you not lose 20 vills there? There were 20 vills here. Why not lose that many? Oh boy, but this time around, I don't think you cannot quick wall out the crossbows this time. And oh, Vinch is gonna get some snipes now. Yeah, that's good for Vinch. This is exactly what Vinchester wanted right now. Getting some damage with some crossbows, making knights to fend off the skirmishes, and the eco KD is evening out. It's now 7-5 in favor for the Viper. Vinchester is, of course, on 2 town centers, just gonna add some more economy. And it's starting to look pretty good for Vinchester in this game. Starting to look pretty good for Vinchester. I think the longer the game goes, the better it gets for Byzantines, honestly. The better it gets for Byzantine. Like, I think the biggest thing that Japanese have going for them is a fast imp Imperial Age. But guess what? That is what Byzantines excel at. So if Vinchester wants to go fast imp for some Imperial Age Arbalest play, that is always on the table, because Imperial Age is 33% cheaper for Byzantines. Pretty hefty discount right there. Yeah, the knight's difficult to deal with here for Viper, but of course his knights do have bloodlines, which Vinchester's knights do not. Vinchester's knights also only 1 armor upgrade. Actually, that's Viper's knight. Vinchester's knights don't have any armor whatsoever. I think you should get at least 1 armor upgrade here against the skirmishers. You don't want camels to die to skirms there, do you? As Viper, yeah, he needs to secure some of his gold here. So he's going to drop a TC there. Now at the front there, there's crossbows killing a villager in a woodline as well. Vinchester is on top of things right now. On top of things. Retreating with this army in the back, forcing Viper to chase that. At the same time attacking on the front. This is good. It's looking really good for the Vinchester right now. Did I say the Vinchester? It's the Viper and Vinchester. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Vinchester can actually go anywhere in the back of Viper's base here. Like that, he's kind of stuck down here, but still, he can try to get some value there with the camels. Camels are taking it close. They can still do something against the skirms, but again, lacking that first armor upgrade, definitely helping the skirms a lot there. They do 5 damage there. Yeah, camels go down. These crossbows will go down as well. Yeah, Vinchester can't run away from that, so that will definitely go down. Yeah, Viper stabilizing a little bit now with the 2nd town center, but yeah, he's behind by 14 villagers now, and this is looking good for Vinch. Looking good for Vinch. He's getting his farming economy rolling, still has gold in the back, has another gold in the back as well, could go to stone for a castle if he really wanted to, if, say, the Japanese player decided to go for some infantry. Really don't think that's a good idea, though. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be, I guess Viper's making an archer right now, perhaps going for some arbalest play then. He's getting his wood upgrade right now. He was under a lot of stress after all, and Vinchester's just defending with cheap trash and his own arbalest. If he can build his arbalest numbers himself, fast imp becomes a dangerous possibility. We also have a mangonel going forward to deal with these skirmishers from the Viper as well, because it's a lot of them already. A lot of them. Yeah. As Vincher's just kind of scouting around, seeing if Viper is expanding anywhere else. Yeah, Viper, having stabilized him, he's just going to try to add some of his own economy. He's going to add a university now for ballistics as well, so you can actually hit the units that you're shooting at, especially the camels, because they're speedy. Very speedy units indeed. And they're a little bit faster than knights, I think. Yeah, I think so. That's 145 speed for them, and yeah, 135. So camels are faster than knight, which is you know, that's necessary, right? You need to be able to chase the knights in order to counter them. Otherwise, it would never be a real counter, really. Yeah, Mangonel is here now on the hill, something that Viper is probably not going to be too happy about. Both players at the same time getting the wheelbarrow upgrade as well. As the camels will slowly make their way into this building. And I mean slowly, because it's going to take a while. Viper, though, not too interested in just defending. He also wants to do some counter damage to attack Vinchester in his base. And Vinchester, he's not on stone, so he doesn't have to stone for a castle. Sending some villagers around here to a wood line on stone and on wood. I like that, so maybe a castle is in the future for now. Vinchester putting pressure on Viper's base. But one thing, right? You do not see Viper's force here. You don't see Viper's force, but guess what? You're going to see it right there. Because Byzantines get Town Watch for free. Get Town Watch for free, so Vinchester knows exactly where Viper's army is if he's looking at it. Yep, sending his force back as well to deal with that. Because I think it's more important now to keep yourself safe, especially as Vinchester clicks up the Imperial Age here. Something that Viper just can't simply... He could never equal that. Not with 58 villagers and not that fast. That's Byzantine privilege right there. This is why Byzantines are such a strong civilization if you can get to the late game. Because you can get to a fast imp fairly easy with Byzantines, you know, and Italians as well, I guess, but mostly Byzantines. So when you play Byzantines, you always need to keep that in the back of your mind. They might be going up the imp right now. I wonder if Viper probably knows that as well, but the question is, what do you do about it? What do you do about it once the Arbalest starts coming out? I mean, right now, Vinchester should definitely be making a lot more ARPs right now. Just produce. Like, you want to have a nice ball of Arbalest so that once you hit Imperial Age, you can immediately upgrade a lot of units and then immediately push forward. Although right now, Viper is the one doing the pushing. Taking this giant hill in the front of Vinchester's base from Vinchester. Nice shot though with the Mangonel, but yeah, Vinchester will still have to abandon that base for now. Viper is still trying to snipe that Mangonel. Snipes a villager instead though. Yeah, Vinchester has to yield a bit of terrain here. He is on stone, but not a lot though, so he's not going to have a castle anytime soon. But he will have Arbalest in a sec. And I guess this army, where is it going to go? It's just going to patrol on this hill as Viper is going to switch his attention to the left side, the left bottom side of Vinchester's base, which is fairly open. There's nothing protecting Vinchester or stopping Viper from doing this, honestly. Yeah, there's not... Maybe one house would have stopped that, actually. Well, not stop it because you break through the palisade wall. Vinchester going to go to wood in the back. Now, because of the way he has walled this, you know, from still from feudal age, you know, this army will be stuck right there. But yeah, it's going to be Arbalest now for Vinchester, and Arbalest will be able to kill this army fairly easy. As oh boy, Mangonel battle there. Let's shot from Vinchester, missing Viper's Mangonel, but Viper also not hitting Vinchester's Mangonel. Another Mangonel coming in from the right, but it will be Arbalest now in about 20 seconds. An attack round there from the Viper. Ay. Also, you lose less points on at the imp click because of the lower cost, so it's more difficult for the other player to notice that. This is definitely true. It's less of an investment, therefore less of a score difference. This is true. Viper deleting his Mangonel to try to get a shot in on these Arbalests, but he doesn't get it. And now the Arbalests have more range. You know, they outrange the Mangonels now, so they can easily snipe them. And Vinchester is going to make more ARPs and start pushing forward. Viper has 800 gold. If he idles his economy, he can maybe get up the imp himself. But the question is that worth it? Is that worth it? Idling your economy, losing momentum on the front, going to imp, and then suddenly, you know, there you are. So we have camels posted out on the stone to see if Viper is on stone or anything like that. Viper still being annoying in this town, well, being annoying in Vinchester town. Is, oh god, that was a good shot there. Hold on a second. That I do want to rewatch there for a sec. Hang on a second. That was a big moment there as Viper comes forward, shoots with the Mangonel. Vinchester dodging. Great shot there for Viper. And this is exactly what he needed to thin out the Arbalest numbers. Look at that. Only 6 on the field. Like, Vinchester did not produce a whole lot of Arbalest while he was going up there. He really didn't. As, oh god, another good shot there for the Viper. Vinchester. Losing 2 Mangonels. Oh god, what is this? What's going on? The entire momentum of your push is completely stalled out as a result of that. Like, imagine if you just brought in the camels there to just sit in front of the Mangonels. Would have been much better. As, yeah, more shots from Vinchester. And I know Mangonels don't really counter Arbalest anymore because of the range, but they still kill him. They still kill him. Siege for Viper going down. But look at this army that's coming forward. It's a measly army that's coming forward right now for Vinchester. It's not a whole lot at all. Honestly, even crossbows could kill this army. Crossbows that are in the back of Vinchester's base right now dealing with that. If you deleted that mangonel, would kill all the army. It very well might have, honestly. It very well might have. Which would have been a disaster for Vinchester, because he really needs to push right now. He needs to push, because it's important, right? It's important that when you do go fast imp, you know, you might fall behind in economy. Now, this is not the case, but still, you don't want to let your opponent get to imp themselves. You need to put pressure on, because if you put pressure on, then your opponent can't go to imp anymore, because if they try to do that, you know, you will be able to easily squash them there. As Vinchester, yeah, has full upgrades on the skirmisher, so this should be a good fight for him. Yeah, look at how uneven this fight actually is for Vinchester, and he's still killing way more. Look at how many bodies there are over here as compared to over there for purple. Still fights in the middle there as Viper trying to defend as good as he can with the elite skirms. But really, what this should prompt Vinchester to do is spam some knights. Or light cap. Spam some knights. Okay, Vinch. There should be no way that Viper gets to kill a bombard cannon with villagers. Yeah, exactly. You tell him. That is not how we do things here. Not how we do things. Vinchester wants to drop a forward castle, but instead decides, okay, well, your army's not over here, so guess what? I'm going to touch the castle right on your face. Viper trying to get up to the next H now. Trying to go to imp, but is it too late? And also, if he's going to click up, where is he going to click up? Because these castles, these town centers are within range of the bombard cannon. Nice attack round for Vinchester there. Oh boy. Viper, please don't click up. Don't do it. It's not gonna end well. He's gonna click up. He's gonna do it. Wanna bet? Is he gonna do it? He can't do it quite yet. He still needs 800 gold. Yeah, Viper says he knows it. He knows it as well. He lost that army in the back of his base. If he clicks up now, right? He'd have to click up in this town center, honestly. Because if he clicks up in either of these town centers, those town centers will go down to the bombard cannon. The castle will go up, and Vinchester gaining a deserved victory here on Arabia, because it's always Arabia, with Byzantines versus Japanese, getting back into the series as well. Really nice, evening it out a little bit. I mean, Viper still has the lead, but Vinchester is still in this set. And I love the fact that this finals has not been a stomp. I'm so happy about that, because that would have sucked, right, if it had been just 5-0 and that's it. That would have been such an anticlimactic final, honestly. After such an amazing tournament and then end with a stomp, that would have sucked. So I'm so happy to see that this is an even set, you know, with Vinchester and Viper both being able to defeat each other on maps as well. You know, and this was really well played by Vinchester. Really well played. Especially over here where he caused so much chaos in the back of Viper's base was really good. Really good. Getting up earlier with some knight pressure as well. Keeping the pressure on Viper. And then when Viper moved forward finally, Vinchester was like, poof, I'm up to imp. And now I have arbalest. And now I have a castle. And now I have bombard cannons. And it was just too much. Yeah, and Viper probably still having a bit of trauma from that game against MBL where he lost 3 town centers that were going up to imp. Almost a 4th. That would have been bad. He kept, well, I mean, it was his own fault, right? I mean, he went up to imp at this town center. There's literal ramps right here, and he goes up to imp in the next town center right next to it. I mean, what do you think was going to happen? Of course, your opponent is going to try to snipe your TCs. Yeah, MBL almost got away with it too, but yeah. Yeah, this time around, Viper wants to avoid that. He's like, yeah, this is not looking too hot for me. It's going to take almost 3 minutes to get up to the next stage. No way that this is going to be a good game. GG. Looking at the statistics here for Vinchester, 112 kills for him, 94 KD. Very even, but it was going to get worse and worse for Viper here. Despite all the things that he did, right? Like the defense in the early Imperial Age stage here for Vinchester lost so many units, so many troops, so much momentum from Viper. So he did really good, but at the end, still, you're up against attack advantage. You know, it's difficult to deal with, and especially the bombard cannons makes it really difficult. Which is why that person that posted on the forum, the Age of Empires forum, asking if Bohemians could get bombard cannons and castle age as well, really should reconsider their request there. That might be one of the most ludicrous proposals I've ever heard. Getting bombard cannons and castle age, that would be overpowered as hell. That would be so OP. No, I mean, see the difference a few bombard cannons already makes. You can immediately pressure TCs from a distance, and there's nothing that Viper can easily do about it. No. Bombard cannons should stay in the Imperial Age, where they belong historically and, of course, balance-wise. Oh yeah, right. More food collected for Vinchester, of course, so he could get up faster as well. More villagers for him. And so, like, even not only was he doing a fast amp, he was also doing it with more villagers, right? So that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Because normally, if you go fast amp, you kind of have to tank your economy a little bit because it's a lot of investment. But not with Byzantines, and not in this game. Yeah, GG. Well, alrighty. Well, I mean, it's 3-2. I mean, it's not over. It's Vinchester's not out of the woods just yet, but he's getting close. He's at least keeping up with the Viper a little bit here. That's important that he does. It's important that he does. So let's have a look at that, shall we? Can you guys see it yet? No, you can't. There you go. Now you can see the draft as well. Very nice. Let's have a look. Win for Vinchester with Byzantines. Great. And a loss for Viper with Japanese. Now, I don't think he's going to sweat it too much losing with one of the lower civs here. You know, I don't think so. I wonder, Viper though, he has one cavalry civ left, one cavalry archer civ left, the rest is played as archer civs. The Chinese, of course, can do whatever they want. So can Saracens, actually. Saracens one of the most open tech trees in the game, you know. But of course, it's more expensive to tech into something else. Now, Vinchester, he still has Ethiopians and Bohemians, not the strongest archer civs. You know, Britons are definitely better. If you have Sicilians, I think you want to save that for Khmer. That's probably the best matchup for them. And then Aztecs, Chinese might be a good matchup for Aztecs, honestly. At least it looked good the other game. What was it? Jordan versus Viper? Was that where Aztecs, Chinese happened? Or was it Mayans, Chinese? It was Mayans, Chinese, but that was good as well. Well, we have game 6, so I guess instead of speculating, let's just tap into the game and let's have a look, shall we? Let me get the ID there. Let's see. They could give you a bombard cannon with low range, like more like a mangonel with the upgrade of imp when they reach the range. I mean, at least if they take away the range, right? At least if they take away the range, then I don't really have a problem with it anymore. But then you gotta ask yourself, why in God's name would you make a bombard cannon if you can make a mangonel, right? Because a mangonel is going to be much better at hitting things than a bombard cannon. Now, a bombard cannon, of course, does way more damage to a building. This is true. They should probably nerf that as well. It's expensive. That's true. I think it's just easier to just leave the bombard cannon out of Castle Age. I don't think any civilization really needs that, honestly. You know, because I like to see the Castle Age as the time that, you know, fortifications go up. It's a time that players, you know, that's when most of the booming happens, right? That's when you get the multiple town centers. That is when, you know, you want to invest into the economy, and if you immediately can get pushed by cannons, bombard cannons, that's like there's no booming possible at that point. That would suck. Whereas in Imperial Age, right, after those fortifications have protected your economy, in Imperial Age they come crashing down right again. Well, you know, you don't have to eco in a Castle Age, but think about it. If you're up against Bohemians and they get bombard cannons that have range like that, you basically can never boom. You can't, because Bohemians will always go all in with bombard cannons and immediately punish that. And there's nothing you could do about it, really. Especially if they have crazy range, really. Yeah, so I think it's just better to leave it out. I think like instead of just risking all the difficulty of balancing around that, I think getting hand cannoneer is already good enough. That's already a really good unit anyways to get in Castle Age anyways. Like trying to go Eagles against Bohemians is basically a no-go. Just that's not good anymore. Yeah. You think games like Arena would be more action in Castle? Now, I mean, would be hard for me to say that I wouldn't want more action in Arena. I mean, I have to be honest there. I like Arena games better when it's action in Castle Age and Imperial Age instead of just players booming up for 30 minutes and then fighting for 10 minutes and that's it. That's what I hate so much about Arena. Like, I mean, I don't mind Arena, of course. After all, if I have to play it a few times here and there, if I get, you know, pulled into a game on the ranked ladder, it's okay. But the problem is, I'm just getting tired of booming up for 30 minutes, doing absolutely nothing, and then you know, you fight for 10 minutes and then it's over. I don't know. Friends, what's the price for first and second place? Good question. I don't actually know. I only know it's a $75,000 prize pool. I don't know what the prize pool will be for players. I mean, I could check the handbook maybe at some point, but game 6 is starting, so I think we'll check that. But we'll check the game first. Maybe at the end I'll look it up. I can tell you then. Well, let's go. Anyways, here's the game. The 6th game already between Vinchester and the Viper. In the purple, we have Vinchester playing as Sicilians. I wonder if he was going to go for Sicilians then as a cavalry civ. But Viper hasn't gone for Khmer. Instead, it's gone for Tatars. Ooh. I love to play arena and make a siege tower. I can only imagine the surprised look on your opponent's face when they actually get across a siege tower. I mean, why not, right? That's what it was made for. Yeah, mass archers from feudal. Exactly, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You just hop over the wall and then boom, lots of archers in your town. Hop a villager over, siege workshop, and you're done. I'm gonna do it. Okay, next time I get matched in a 1v1 on arena, I'm gonna do exactly that. Just saying. So whoever gets matched up against me, beware. Anyways, it's the game 6 here between Vinchester and the Viper. Like I said, Sicilians versus Tatars. Now, Tatars, that means one thing and one thing only. Cavalry archers. This is a problem for Sicilians. Until Halberd Cavalier... I mean, skirmishes, of course, do protect you a little bit, but you'd lack the final armor upgrade, so skirmishes are not going to last well into Castle Age. As Viper stealing 3 goats here, and the question is, Vinchester, are you going to let Viper have those goats, or are you going to try to steal them back? As yeah, Viper happy to lame these. If Vinchester wants to get the goats back, and Viper's like, nah, mate. So Vinchester, I mean, okay, he gets 1 back. Viper could actually decide to just kill that. Vinchester doesn't want to let that happen. He's like, okay, you can have these 2 goats, but I want the rest. I want the rest. Also interesting how Viper is sending the goats to the right. You know why he did that? Because now Vinchester will think that Viper is on this side, maybe. Instead of down here, which is where Viper actually is. So you'll see, maybe if Vinchester goes and scout in a second, he might very well go this way instead of to the left. Oh, 20k for the first place, then 10k for the second place. Ah, thanks, Zergwa. Thanks, man. You're looking that up for me. And of course for Lord Roderick. Good stuff, good stuff. That's a lot of money, no? That's a lot of money on the line. I mean, I would definitely be happy to win $20,000 for playing a 20-year-old game that I love. Fortunately, I'm not good enough for that, so unfortunately, we'll just have to cast it then. Cast other players who are good enough and deserve that prize pool money, honestly. With the performances that both these players have delivered for us in this tournament, they deserve the money, honestly, you know? Putting in all the work to practice and remain in the top for all that time, yeah. Definitely so. Any case, we should probably talk about the respective player bases here. I should have a look at Viper's map. Let's see. Just change as Zergwa. Well, maybe it might be just changed for you, but that's like maybe 4 times the amount of money I actually have, and I'm just telling you about my wealth. But I should have you know, I'm not rich. I'm a student. That's not a surprise, really. That's not a plot twist either. If I was a student and I was rich, now that would be a surprise. Honestly. Any case, oh, Viper though. Viper now going for a pre-milled rush. Is Vinchester going for a pre-milled rush? Wow, actually no. Vinchester for the first time in the series is not going to go for a pre-milled rush. Wow, change. Is he going to go for scouts then? Because scouts with Sicilians are pretty good. Pretty good. So I guess, yeah, drushing with the Tatars makes sense because Sicilians will have the better economy than you. You're going to have to delay your opponent. A little bit. Anyway, for Viper, let's look at his wood lines. It's kind of in a crescent shape, as you can see. They're all on the left as well. So the right side of Viper's base is very open. That's where his gold is, his main gold is, stone is as well for a castle, and his other secondary gold. So the right side of Viper's base is going to be very, very important. I'm not a student, I'm not rich. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess majority of the world are in the same boat. We're all in the same boat together there. You know, but that's the thing, right? I have, of course, I have a huge student debt as well. So I might have some money in the bank, but I always gotta, in the back of my mind, there's still that giant red sum that I still have to pay at some point, which is just hilarious, which is just fun, just fantastic. I don't want to think about that at all right now. I'm gonna distract myself with some Age of Empires, if you please. As map for the Viper. Map hacks for the Viper. What do you mean? As map for the Viper. Vinchester did scout the barracks now. Ooh, I think he might expect a drush to come forward, but that's a second delayed there on the mill already. No loom on his villagers just yet. Now there's loom. Oh no, there was loom already, but yeah, the villager already going down. A Viper putting on a lot of aggression. Bad map for Viper. Oh, I see. Yeah, I agree. It's not a good map for Viper at all. All the gold in the same place. It's better for Vinchester, who has gold forward, has berries forward, but wood lines aren't very good either. But at least his golds are in the back, so that's much better than the Viper. But still, forward berries, and Viper immediately getting some value for his pre-mill drush. Remember, drushes aren't supposed to kill villagers, at least that's not their main goal. It is to snipe, it's to delay your vills, it's to delay their work, it's to harass your villagers, make your efficiency go lower and lower and lower. That's what they're supposed to do. If you can kill a villager though, all the power to you. All the power to you. Viper is not going to complain about that. The militia are not going to complain about getting to kill something for a change. Like, they're not. They're definitely not. But it's not. If you don't kill a villager with a drush, you don't have to worry about that. That's totally normal. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, Viper. I mean, I guess he's thinking about. Oh, Viper. He walled down here. Oh, I mean, better to be safe than sorry, right? Better to be safe, because you'll see that this wood line then suddenly doesn't have, like, that one tile happens to be open and Vinchester actually manages to get his scouts in the back of your base. You'll see it happens. The one time that you're like, nah, there can't be a hole right there, there's a hole. There's definitely a hole. Just rule of thumb, if you tell yourself, nah, that's not gonna happen, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Never think a thought like that. It's Murphy's Law. Everything bad that can happen will happen at some point, and then especially will happen when you think it won't happen. It's a law of nature. It really is. Scouts coming forward now for Vinchester. Now, making spearmen against these scouts is tricky because these are Sicilian scouts. They take half the bonus damage of a spearman in this case. So yeah, that 15 bonus damage right there, that's only 7.5 now. So that only ends up being about 10 damage to these scouts. So these scouts die a lot less fast as they would normally. It takes 5 hits now to kill a scout. That never happened to me, says Zerba. Well, lucky you, Dad. Lucky you. It always happens to me, damn it. Oh wait, what are you talking? Are you talking about the Murphy's Law thing, or right? Anyways, got more scouts coming out for Vinchester, but he's also going to drop a range maybe for some skirmishers to defend himself against the archers for Viper. As Viper Militia is finally going to find the end of his life now. There it goes, and down it goes. As Vinchester still is trying to chase down his scout as well because he wants to kill that. Viper, though, getting some good downhill hits in on Vinchester's scouts and getting a lot of HP off of these as well. That's good for him. That's definitely good for him as well. Vinchester, only 3 scouts on the field, and some of them are kind of weak. Hasn't been able to kill a villager so far. It's only Viper that has been able to kill a villager. Yes, you always leave a gap, right? Right? Yeah, there's always a hole. It's the biggest pet peeve for of most Age of Empires players, I guess. You know, you work so hard with your nice walls, and then there's one frickin' hole in the middle somewhere, and your enemy gets in anyways, and the entire wall is negated. Yep, it happens all the time. Yeah, you just gotta scan. You just gotta send a villager outside of your walls, and if it walks anywhere besides, you know, if it walks anywhere in particular, like for example, if you click a villager this way and the villager walks the opposite way, there's probably a hole somewhere. You know, that's why a villager would go that way. You know, like, so that's definitely that you gotta always check. But of course, there's so much to do when you play Age of Empires. Who has the time for any of that? Really, we don't all have the crazy APM of these players to do 20 things at the same time. Like gathering relics, I mean, I'm thinking about it during the game. But I just don't have the time to micro a monk towards to getting a relic or something like that. Like, rarely do I have the time for that in 1v1s. And these players do it as a routine, so yeah. That is probably also why they are the best and why they are in the top 4 of the world, these 2 players for sure, right here. Yeah, so Vinchester bringing in some spearmen, well, I mean, they're carrying a javelin, it's a kind of spear, right? But yeah, bringing in some skirmishers there to get rid of these spearmen there. Yep, that's a problem for the Viper. Was hoping to defend himself with some spearmen. Then is also in the back of Vinchester's base with some archers. Ooh, showing up with the archer. Was about to click there. Where are the archers for Viper? And Viper getting some value now with the sneaky archers from Vinchester. Vinchester trying to block that with a gate, but yeah, the archers get away anyways. But they're not going away because they're still going to stay behind and harass. And I wonder what is Vinchester going to do, because his army is all the way up front. He'll have to make some skirmishes then to protect the back of his base. But for now, losing 2 villages already. Not too good of a start for Vinchester here. Good start for Viper though. Especially with the Tars. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you want to be doing here. As Vinchester, yeah, fighting against some spearmen, gets another one down with the skirmishers if they can range it. There you go. Skirmishers now. No, not skirmishers. Villagers pushing away the archers for now. Another villager going down, and oh, Vinchester. Ay. Definitely taking some losses here. Definitely taking some losses here. Wasn't able to really counter the Viper so far. Viper's kept most of his eco safe, and indeed, not a single villager has died for the Viper so far. And Vinchester has not gotten a lot of value from his attack so far. Scouts as well now for the snake was dropped the stable. Just make some scouts to counter what Vinchester was doing. And Sicilian scouts aren't necessarily better than any other scout on the map, because that is not the kind of damage that they counter. Skirmishers for Vinchester going down as well. Yeah, Viper is very much ahead in this game right now. Very much ahead. The KD much better for him. And look at that, a 5 villager difference. 5 villager difference. That's also because Vinchester had some idle TC time. Yeah, one villager because of idle TC time, and then 4 villagers because he lost them to well, death. Yeah, Vinchester is heavily on gold though. Quite heavily on gold. 9 on gold, and few later you're not making archers. That is interesting. Interesting indeed. More military being created now by Vinchester. Mostly some spearmen, mostly some skirmishes there. He's not walled at all. I mean, like, how do you wall something like this, right? How do you wall something like this? There's also already dropped an outpost over here. Now, this is something you can do with Sicilians, because why not, right? Why not? You have extra stone, 100 in total. So why not drop an extra outpost just to get some vision? Yeah, 1 scout remains, but yeah, Vinchester wants to snipe the archers. Has a lot of skirmishes here. Has a lot of skirms there. Can kill these archers for sure if Viper isn't careful there. Viper already losing 1 archer there, harassing a little bit with a spearman, sending a scouts for it, maybe to raid a little bit on the gold. These are not fully upgraded scouts or anything, so this villager should be able to fight this off maybe without taking too much losses. But there's a weak vill there. Viper was checking for it. He was checking for it. Checking for the weak vill. He's gonna get her as well. Boop. There you go. There he goes. And bam. And Viper's getting so much value, finding another weak villager as well, as Vinchester's chasing Viper's archer army to the back of the map, and Viper buying some food there, clicks up to the next stage, easy peasy. Yeah, this game is looking a lot better for Viper there. He's gonna get the Castle Age first. His crossbows are gonna have thumb ring instantly once they hit Castle Age. You know, you're gonna be able to do some damage, and Viper has the lead. So guess what unit you can go for? Cavalry archers, yay! Oh boy. Yeah, Vinchester's not gonna be too happy about that one, I should think. Like, the best way to avoid to counter cavalry archers is to avoid your opponent from getting to them in the first place. That's the best way to counter them, really. That's not something Vinchester can do anymore. Not with skirmishers, right? And Viper, despite his bad map, is yeah, made a cute little town here. Has walled up in a very long oval-shaped form. But it's doing the trick for now. It's doing the trick for now. Let's see where Viper's military is. So a lot of his archers are hidden in the corner, and all Vinchester, he's looking for it. He's looking for these archers. He knows Viper has them over there. I say just patrol your spearmen on the right side, so at least it will tell you. Yeah, Vinchester, he knows that they're there. He knows that if he moves forward, right, and Viper sees that, Viper now seeing Vinchester's forward, he knows Viper will send his archer army right back into his base with crossbow upgrade this time, botkin arrow, and thumb ring. Not a combination you want. Yeah, Vinchester, he's almost paranoid about it. He knows they're there, so he's gonna wall towards this dungeon that he placed. You know, means he can only drop 1 town center in the next stage. He's gonna get bloodline, so he's going to go for knights then. I think that's probably the best call. As Viper actually going for knights as well. Interesting. Viper, yeah, dropping a 2nd stable now, so it's not gonna be cavalry archers for now. Not for now. It's gonna be knights instead. And remember, Sicilians. I mean, Tatars do get to make camels, but a big but as well. Don't make camels and castle aids against Sicilians. It doesn't work. It doesn't. I mean, yes, camels do about a half more damage than normal knights. But for the rest, the damage output against Sicilian knights is exactly the same for your normal knights. As yeah, Viper sniping another villager there. Unfortunately, Thumb Ring does not give you 100% accuracy against moving targets. That's what ballistics does. Yeah, but another villager going down. Equal KD 7-0. Yeah, Vinchester has not been able to snipe anything. Has not been able to snipe anything from the Viper right now. Crossbows coming in on the other side, but they're kind of trapped over here. Kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place, and the hard place being Vinchester skirmishers, who are going to be able to take out these crossbows. And Viper stops microing them as well. Get some kills though, because there's still a few late skirms. Not that great. Skirmishers on this side holding back Viper's crossbow army as well. I mean, Vinchester is holding on, but it's 38 to 48 villages. This is not looking good for the Vinch here. As Viper, knowing he is ahead, is going to go to stone on gold, on wood as well. I mean, with an extra town center and another TC up on this side. Some free sheeps to go with it, which lasts longer with Tatars as well. Isn't that a fantastic bonus? Yeah, look at that. Some extra food. And why not take that? Why not take that extra bit of food before your farm count is high enough, right? So you can actually start producing from this town center. Yeah, it makes a perfect sense to me. Oh no, Viper! He has some knights posted out there. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but those knights, they're gonna see this town center now. And Vinchester, yeah, he's gonna see these knights, and let's see if he quick walls in the villagers then. Because Viper, yeah, okay, Viper didn't notice this. Viper didn't notice it, and Vinchester is so lucky right now. Is so lucky right now that Viper didn't see that. Now he sees it, but Vinchester had the time to quick wall in the villagers. There you go. This is not gonna be a doubt TC. Wow, that was lucky. That was a lot of luck there. Yeah, knight coming out as well for Sicilians. Of course, it's going to be knight v knight then, and now Viper's making cavalry archers. Okay, so it was just going to be a few knights, maybe for some advantage against the skirms, and then after that, a cavalry archer to this. And how are you doing, Nico? Great series so far. I agree. I assume you've also been watching it then. It's been a great series. You can definitely tell right there. It's I mean, I'm kind of hoping that Vinchester wins this and evens out the set, but it's looking really good for Viper right now. Vinchester is struggling to do damage to the Viper, but unlike last time, now there's elite skirms on the field. A better counter, I'd say, to cavalry archers than encapsulates, at least here for Sicilians, than camels would be, which is what you tried to do with Berbers last time. If Vinchester can get to Hauberk Cavalier, Viper might still struggle, you know. Yeah, I mean, this series is definitely living up to the hype. It really is. It really is. I hope they're gonna go to all 9 games. I hope it's gonna be a best of 9. Wouldn't that be amazing if they actually made it to 9 games? That'd be fantastic. Fantastic. I would love that. But yeah, I'm just happy that it's not a stomp. I'm just happy it's not like a 5-0. Because that would suck. That would suck. That wouldn't be fun for either player, really. You know, because you want to have an exciting finals, you know. And also for Memb, because he's been working so hard for this tournament, and then to end with an anticlimactic 5-0, that would... I mean, unless it's like really good games, like a really good 5-0, then I guess it's okay. But still, you know, this is a lot more fun. A lot more fun. And more content. As the cavalry archer is now coming forward for the Viper, Vinchester will have to defend himself with some skirmishes then, I guess. Has a tower on a critical spot, has a TC up on this gold. I like that. Has a TC up on the left, of course, which did go up in the end. Is on stone as well. Yeah, Vinchester is still alive. He's still alive, but it's 52 to 71 villages, so that the Tatar player has a lot more economy, and the cavalry archer numbers are going to start rising. And I'm glad that Viper stopped, you know, during Rebel Wololo. I don't know why, but Viper sometimes... Was it Rebel Wololo 4? Yeah, there was a time that Viper, when he played Tatars, he just went for no economy whatsoever. Like, he just didn't make villagers. Like, he stopped at 40 vills and just spammed cavalry archers. And it just didn't really work. Because if your opponent defended well, at some point, you would just lack the economy to make more of them. So yeah, Vinchester dropping a market now so he can sell and buy stuff. He almost has the stone for a castle. I think a castle right over here on this hill on the gold would be nice. Maybe on this side on the gold and your farms would be nice as well. Just to protect yourself against the cavalry archers. That would be good. Yeah, the weird all-ins, right? Yeah, it was very unlike Viper, honestly. Really unlike Viper. Like, what Viper always gets away with is the fact that he just booms and doesn't take any damage while doing so. You know, adding eco... And you can't damage him. That's what Viper excels at. All-ins, I know, like, no eco all-in. It's just, doesn't really seem like his style, honestly. I mean, it doesn't mean that he can't go for it when it's necessary, right? Like, Viper has enough map awareness and strategy awareness, 7 out of 10, remember, to recognize a situation in which an all-in with low eco is of course, is appropriate. But even then, all in like that, Tatars with 40 villages and 2 farms max. Yeah, exactly. That didn't really... I remember watching that. I was like, that doesn't really seem like that's gonna work. This, much better. Look at that. Now you've got a better economy and you are basically all in. all in with military as well. Oh boy, though, Viper wants to come forward to drop a castle. Sicilian player has stone for a castle. Vinchester could balance his economy and to buy a castle here to counter this. And remember, Sicilian castles go up significantly faster than Tatar castles will. So I don't think that castle will go up on this hill. Yeah, Viper definitely wants to get the castle up. I'm not sure if Vinchester, is he aware that this castle might go up? He sees it now. Okay, castle's going up. What are you going to do, Vinchester? Buy stone? Yeah, buy stone and drop a castle yourself. Drops the castle instantly, but Viper has a mangonel here. Everything ranging over here. Yeah. Vinchester trying to get the castle up, but the knights are over here. The skirmishers can't get close enough, and Sicilian builders can, yes, build castles fast, but not when there's two mangonels right next to him. And from one, this game went from 1 to 0, and just like that, as Vinchester gets absolutely wrecked by the knights. Cavalry archers everywhere. The castle isn't up yet. Wow, that swung right into Viper's favor there in just 5 seconds. Jesus Christ, that went fast. That went really fast. Vinchester's base split into 10 villagers are now held hostage on this side. Can't go back to the main base. The army for Vinchester gets absolutely quashed. Is this GG? Is it GG? What do you do? If Vinchester just can't believe it, probably. Can't believe what just happened to him. And Viper just absolutely wrecking Vinchester's base in less than a minute. Jesus Christ. Like I can rewind a minute. Right there. And then, like, from a minute. This is where it all starts to go wrong. This is, like, how fast that goes. Like that, Vinchester tries to drop the castle, can't get the castle up. The knights are over here, the mangonels are denying this castle. Knights are wrecking Vinchester's economy, and at the same time, Vinchester defending with his army over here, gets stuck in his own house wall. Mangonel from Viper comes forward, shoots, and kabam! Ouch. And it's GG. How fast did that go? It's crazy. Wow. And also, how you doing, Hammer Shot? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, and welcome back. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by how fast that went from went to shizzles for Vinchester. Honestly, like, damn, that was really bad for him. That was really bad for him, man. I mean, normally Sicilians, yes, you can drop a castle, you probably would get it up faster. But Viper waited until he had mangonels. He waited until he had enough knights and cavalry archers to overwhelm Vinchester in one blow. And Vinchester did not have the military to deal with this. He just didn't. I'm impressed. I'm just kind of flabbergasted about how quick that victory was for Viper. And also Viper now reaching a match point. One more victory for the Snake and he will return as the king of the desert. You know, he was the king the first two iterations. Then the third one he was dethroned. But now he is probably anxious to retake his old throne and sit right on top of that and laugh at all the subjects of the desert. Oh man, but he's so close now. He's so close now. Yeah, look at the KD there. That wasn't even close at the end. Jesus Christ. Look how fast that went. Kapow! Damn, that was insane. Like, the amount of APM that you need to just react to that in the first place would have been insane already. Yeah, it's well executed attack there from the Viper. You know, that was really well executed, actually. Yeah, more resources collected by the Viper. You had more economy after all. You know, Vinchester was trying to hold on, but still, you know, wasn't able to do any damage to Viper. And this is the trend of the game. The games that Vinchester has lost, he wasn't able to damage Viper's economy. And that's the key to defeating Viper. You have to find a way to damage his economy. You can't. If you let him get away with a boom, very likely that Viper will roll you. I mean, yeah, look at the APM at the end spiking up here for both players in the last minute there before the doom of Vinchester. Yeah. Man, I mean, I bet that players are probably starting to become a little bit tired here. I mean, it has been 6 games as well, you know, 6 games as well. And now we're going to go to game 7, which might very well be the final game, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, I think Vinchester probably still has some fight in him, you know. Let's see. There you go. 4-2. Let's have a look at the Discord. Let's see if the game is there. Game 7 is there, so we don't have any time to spare whatsoever. Let's go into the next game between the Viper and Vinchester, and let's see who is going to win it. Is the Viper going to close it out in the next game, or is Vinchester going to stay alive one game longer? That's, well, at least one game longer, that is. That is what we're going to decide right now. If, of course, there's not a lot of spectating delay. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, we have 30 seconds to look at the draft real quick. Real quick. Okay, here you go. Let's see. Was a win for the Viper with the Tars. Very nice against Sicilians as well. Boom. I think Vinchester's probably going to go for Aztecs here. He has to... I think he's going to go for Aztecs. That would be my guess. You know, that is one of his stronger civs. Eagle civs. There's no pesky gunpowder civs on your face. And, like, Chinese do have hand cannoneers, though. So, I mean, there's that. Saracens, too. Okay, well, you know. I should think Aztecs for Viper. Is he going to go for Chinese? Or instead, just pick any other civ. If Vinchester wins, then after that, you have Chinese left, and Vinchester will have Bohemians, Britons, and Ethiopians. Yeah, I think maybe Khmer Saracens might be in order here. So let's see. Let's see. Alrighty, let's not speed up here. There we go. Welcome to the 7th game between Vinchester and Viper here. And Vinchester, oh boy, Vinchester has gone for Britons here. Has gone for Britons. Got to change the dipper, huh? A diaper. Oh, I see. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'm glad I don't have to do that. Lol. Anyways, Vinchester has gone for Britons here. Oh boy. And Viper instead has gone for Khmer. Well, Britons versus Khmer though. I wonder what is better here. We've actually seen this matchup. We've actually seen this matchup before. It was Jordan versus Leary, and Leary rolled Jordan, who had Khmer, with Britons, of course. I wonder, is Vinchester going to replicate the same result, or, as Hammershot predicting here, is Viper going to win this one as well? I mean, Jordan tried to go for Ballista Elephants against Britons as well. That did not work out so well, even though it was awesome. But yeah, Khmer have the potential for an amazing boomer. We all know that Viper loves his greedy booms. He definitely does. But Britain still, I mean, you cannot underestimate that ball of archers that can come out of the Britain archery ranges. You know, you definitely cannot underestimate that. So, I mean, and especially with Vinchester as well. But one thing I should draw your attention to, look at that base for Vinchester. Ew. Now, he has a save-ish gold. There's that. But look at the wood lines. There's only 2 of them. The rest of the base are wide open. This heavily favors Khmer. This. Because as a result, you know, it's going to be really difficult to wall this map, which Britons kind of need to wall anyways, whereas Khmer, you have houses to jump into. You don't have to wall. You're the more mobile civ, most likely anyways. You can spam scouts better than Britons could ever hope to do. So even though Viper's map is just as open as Vinchester's map is, with Khmer, I think I would be much happier with that. I don't think I would mind at all here. Like, think about it. What is the unit that you're going to be coming up against Britons? It's probably going to be archers. And guess what? What do houses do well against? Well, archers. 8 pierce armor in Castle Age and in Feudal Age. It's going to be impossible for archer civs to really raid Khmer if they keep hopping into houses. Like, if you raid this with knights, the houses might actually go down. But with archers, no. I mean, I do agree, Pasha, and I do agree that the woodline for Vinch, the fact that it's in the back, is probably safer than the woodlines for Viper, which are all the way out here. So, especially against Britons, which they can range. And also, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, and then they're also far away as well. But again, Khmer, they have houses to hop into, and it's still... Mobility is not going to be an issue for Khmer necessarily, because it's likely that they'll go for cavalry anyways. I say likely, though. Doesn't mean that Viper has to go for cavalry as well, as Viper now finding Vinchester knows exactly where Vinchester is town center is, because, of course, Vinchester's pushing his zebra that way. Let me get a sip of water here. There we go. Much better. In any case, we do have berries in the back, but again, very open on the left side here for Vinchester. Vinchester hitting the scouts for Viper, and it looks like Vinchester got the better of that engagement, has significantly more HP than Viper scouts. So yeah, Viper will have to either fight downhill a lot or run away, and I don't think Vinchester's going to let him fight downhill like that. Now, is Viper going to go for a pre-mill drush? No. Same with Vinchester, no pre-mill drush. So I guess for the first time in this series, neither side is going to go for a drush. Wow. I didn't think we were going to do it, but we made it. But what are they going to go for then? I mean, I should imagine Vinchester probably going to go for an archer build here. I mean, that's... I can't imagine Vinchester making scouts here against Khmer. That's just... I mean, you're literally asking the Khmer player to do the one thing that they're actually really, really good at. Spamming scouts with their fast farms. Oh, well, fast, you know, they're instantly dropping off farms. Yeah, so I mean, Viper might very well go for Scouts here. He's not on gold or anything. It's 19 pop. That's a pretty fast build already. You know, it's something you can do with with Khmer. You can even go a little bit faster, honestly, because you don't need to gather as much wood, right, with this build, because you don't have to drop a barracks. Now, that is kind of a nerf issue if your opponent does go Scouts as well. No extra sheep for Vinch. I don't think he got any sheep, no. Now, I think he tried to lame them, but Viper got all of them. So I don't think he has. I don't think he will have that extra food, which of course with Britons always welcome, always welcome. And there's a good incentive to lame with Britons, but you don't really get any bonuses that allow you to lame more easily, like seeing where your opponent's DC is, like Vietnamese, or having more line of sight, like the Mongol Scout, or even better, having the Celt bonus that allows you to steal sheep from opponents if only one of your units gets near. Like just saying. Which with a Celt Scout, you can steal any and all sheep under a opponent's down center. There's nothing they can do about it unless they kill your Scout. That's the only thing they can do. Anyways, a barracks now for Vinchester, and I'm still not seeing him on gold. 8 seconds away. Are you going to go for Scouts here? I mean, he made 2 farms. That's not really standard when you go for Scouts, but yeah, he is doing it. Vinchester is making Scouts right now. What? Okay, well, surprise, surprise there. Now, you are playing into the hand of the Khmer player, who is he actually going for Scouts? Yes, of course he's going for Scouts, that makes sense. Viper sees this as well, is probably looking at this as like, Now, there's one thing, right, in a Scout war that Khmer's kind of suck at. It's right there, because Viper, because he's Khmer, doesn't have to build any buildings to go up to the next stage, nor does he need to build buildings to unlock the next set of buildings. So you don't need to build barracks to build the stable. So a lot of players just skip that, right? And oh yes, Viper! I mean, I don't think he has listened to me because what are the odds that he has been watching the stream, but he agrees with me on this point. If you are gonna do a Scout war with Khmer, please drop the barracks. And also, I think Viper of all players should know that does not end well for you, because there's a very big set that he played in Hidden Camp 4 against another player. It was actually against Hera, and Hera went full Scouts, and Khmer, and Viper also went full Scouts with Khmer. And oh, the quick wall, disgusting Viper. Oh, but he didn't finish it, and the villager still goes down. Oh, nice snipe there for Vinchester. As I was saying, like, Viper did go full Scouts as well with Khmer, but he didn't make Spearmen, and Hera did. And Hera completely overwhelmed the Viper in that set. And it was also a critical set as well. I won't spoil anymore if you still haven't seen that game. I'm just saying, Viper has probably learned his lesson from that, and I'm so happy to see he made some Spearmen now, because now there's no bonus that Britons have over the Scouts from Khmer. If anything, Britons lack bloodlines, Khmer don't. So Khmer can get bloodlines, and immediately their Scouts will be way better than the Scouts for Britons. So I don't think that Vinchester should continue to make Scouts here. But yeah, you might have opened the floodgates now, you know. Because Viper's probably going to make more and more Scouts, actually. You know, I wonder if Viper's going to go all in Scouts now. With an open map like this, a map you know your opponent's not going to easily wall, you might actually just go all in Scouts, actually. Why not? I mean, you're 2 games ahead, so that is a risk it's worth taking, I'd say. And the map is really open. You're up against Britons. Killing fast is in the favor of Khmer here. Killing fast is definitely in the favor of Khmer, before Britons get to their giant massive archers. And I think if I were Vinch, I think I would try to wall as good as I can. Defend with Spearmen and just wall your base. Just make sure that Viper can't run through your base with Scouts. Archer range now going up for Vinchester, so he is going to switch into Archers. He is heavily on gold, though, so it's going to be Archers for now. Wait, delete the Archer range? Going to go up over here. Okay, I mean, that's a better position, right? You want to farm over here, so that makes sense. I get that. Get that. It's 28 villagers to 29, because Viper did lose that one villager, of course, that he tried to save with a quick wall, but it failed there. Yeah, Scouts meeting each other in the field. It's 5 Scouts for Vinchester. He's still making Scouts. So at least he's committing to it a little bit, which is probably important to do. As Viper is getting Town Watch right now, so he can get some extra vision and know where the Scouts are coming in. The Scouts hitting the gold. Quick wall from the Viper. Quick wall on the other side. Villagers safe. Very nice. Very nice. I mean, yeah, at this level, that kind of a quick wall should be possible. But still, the reaction time from Viper, right, was really good. And remember, no Town Watch yet when the Scouts came in, so he didn't see that. We have a Blacksburg now. Vinchester slowly walling the front of his base. You know, this is a lot to wall on the left as well, but I really hope he gets a wall up somewhere. I mean, it's very unlucky for him that he's far away from this corner, because at least if you're over here with the TC, you can wall that, right? That's easy to wall. Now, though, not so much. 7 scouts with Vinchester, no upgrades on them whatsoever. And Viper, yep, Viper is getting upgrades on his scouts. Again, this is, you're asking for a scout war now against Khmer. And Khmer love scout wars, if they have spearmen on the field at least. Especially against civilization that fewer, worse scouts. Yeah, Vinchester. He's gonna have to find an answer soon to what will soon be a very suffocating mass of scouts that will come forward. I'm not actually sure where the scouts for Viper are right now. They're over here, over here. Spearman pushing them away right now. 17 on food versus 9, very late cast late for Finch. That's true as well. That's true as well. And if Viper, if he wants to spam scouts, he can do that. If he doesn't want to spam scouts, he can just go up the gas slate. There's a lot of farms for Viper right now. The farming economy is really good. Vinchester has been on gold as well, has been banking gold, has been making a few archers here and there, but the fact of the matter is still his farming economy is just not as good as the Khmer farming economy. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Now, Viper does have to go to gold again. He still needs to mass enough gold to get up here, so it's not like he clicks up anytime soon. He right now is more interested in getting some armor on his scouts. As Vinchester, yeah, wasn't able to do any damage back home, but yeah, no upgrades on these scouts. Viper scouts are much stronger now. Much stronger now. This is really risky for Vinchester, really risky. I mean, he got unfortunate too, right? This is not a good Britain's map generation. It really isn't. This is like one of the worst map gens that Britons could have. An open map with 2 wood lines only, everything exposed. That is exactly the opposite of what you want to happen. As Vinchester taking a fight now. There is Spearman in here though. The Spearman might make all of the difference necessary for Vinchester to push this away at least for now. Bringing forward some archers as well at the same time. It's Viper is distracted with the scouts in the back of the base. Vinchester Spearman not in time though. Viper, like, this is smart. This is smart. He pulls back, waits until Vinchester's scouts get close enough, and then he engages and then runs away from the Spearman again. As Vinchester now sniping the Spearman, and oh boy, now Vinchester knows, oh shit, my archers have been found out, and yeah, Viper with these scouts with upgrades are just gonna find these archers. Ay. Viper about to click up here, and what can Vinchester do here? As yeah, all the archers go down, the scouts go down. Well, actually, not all the archers go down. I mean, all the scouts go down. I mean, that definitely was not the best fight in the world for Viper. Vinchester definitely saving his archers there, but Viper clicks up. We'll be there in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And Vinchester, it's going to take forever for him to get up at this rate. And this also means that the Khmer player will have, what, 19 farms working. We'll have forward gold. I mean, if you tower this, it will be safe gold as well. And you can just spam knights all you want. Spam gold. Spam knights all you want here. I just sad to see though. I wanted Vinchester so bad to win this game, and not because I'm like necessarily rooting for Vinchester. We always keep a balanced view here with the Red Prince stream, but well, I'm partial to longer games, and if Vinchester loses this set, then unfortunately Viper, oh, not unfortunately for him, he will be out of the set. And Viper will become the new King of the Desert champion. So, and it's increasingly looking the way that it's going to be that way. Is Vinchester trying to get some value here with the archers, but like that's what I mean. That's what I mean, right? You try to do damage with Britons, and what did the Khmer player do? It's just like, we're not home. Although actually we are home. That's the whole problem. We are home, and you can't shoot our arrows there. That moment when a house with like no windows whatsoever does a better job at keeping out arrows than a palisade wall, which is, you know, supposed to be high up. And look at this. Look at this. You can never damage these villagers. You can definitely idle them. You can idle them, that's for sure. As these villagers, look at this guerrilla warfare, this style fighting here for Viper, popping out of the houses, and the archers for Vinchester just, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that English-speaking soldiers have trouble dealing with Southeast Asian villagers, huh? Anyways, yeah, Castle now for the Viper. So much food, can make all the light cav and I guess a few knights, not actually a whole lot of knights. All the light cav in the world if he wants to. Yeah, still has some scouts out here. Vinchester has clicked up to the next stage, so he will be there in 2 minutes, but look at that. Not walled whatsoever. He's not walled whatsoever, so if the knights show up at his base, it's going to take a while before the archer count to reach a number where you can actually fight against knights with upgrades. Which upgrades they will have. They already have a lot of full feudal age upgrades, and there come the knights. Katunk, 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 running forward. Oh, Vinchester. Oh, Vinchester. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. He's gonna try. He's making Spearmen for now. He's getting armor on the Spearmen as well, so they stay alive a bit longer. But still, Knights against Spearmen. Knights should win that handily there. You need to keep your ball of archers alive here. This is the most important thing. Has to save the archers as the knight makes it in the wood line as well. So much pressure now. And Viper is coming in for the kill, closing in for the kill now with knights everywhere. Lacking the final armor upgrade, something that you could probably, the second armor upgrade, something that probably is important against archers. Vinchester 30 seconds away from Castle. Is he going to stay alive? Is the Vinch going to keep the dream going here as more and more knights come forward? Viper is not even going to add another town center right now. It's all in knights for now, and that's exactly what you need to do if your opponent is behind to the Castle H. And Vinchester is trying to keep his ball of archers alive as good as he can. He's trying to make more as well, but it's just one archer range, so it's a slow process as well. Only one wood line to work with that's walled in. Viper, they're like vultures circling a wounded man in the desert. And how appropriate is that for King of the Desert as well? As Vinchester under a lot of pressure right now. He still has some crossbows. He still has some hope here. 13 crossbows might do the trick here against these few knights that Viper's sending forward, but it's 5 knights already. They're on the left side. It's 46 to 37 villagers now, 7 to 1 eco KD, and Vinchester's economy, most of it is idled. Spearman coming forward now. Maybe pikeman would be a nice upgrade to get to defend yourself, but yeah. Vinchester, he's still trying. He's not going to give up here. He knows it's the last game. He knows he has to continue to try here. He's going to push out with his crossbows to allow him to take this town center, which is cheap. He could add that on stone as well. So if you want to get a castle, maybe that might be an idea. Oh boy. Oh boy, Scorpions coming forward, but Khmer having extra range. Even though you might be Britons, you actually have the same range as a Scorpion now, so... You basically have the same problem against Scorpions as normal Civs have against normal Scorpions, except now you're Britons. As Viper is gonna take down that stable, is like, you should have never gone for cavalry. How dare you play this game? You thought you could beat me at my own spells, huh? That Harry Potter reference never gets old. Yeah, stable goes down. I don't think Vinchester cares too much about that. That was not a long-term strategy at all. So he's microing against the Scorpions as well, trying to keep his ball of archers alive as good as he can. I don't want to call it just yet. Because I know as long as Vinchester doesn't say GG, I'm not going to say GG for now. Because, but it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good, especially since Viper's now, okay, you know what? The all-in pressure is not, I don't need to go all in here. I'll just drop 2 extra TCs, boom, and just going to boom behind that with Khmer. And you're going to be stuck on 1 or 2 town centers with the 2 crossbows. As now the second armor upgrade is in for the knight, and Viper is thinking about diving the DC here with his knights. Probably would have gotten most of these crossbows if not for the spearmen. I really think pikeman upgrade should be in order as well. As the Scorpion goes down, and Vinchester breathed a sigh of relief there. He got close to dying there, barely holding on here in the desert. It was very open. It was going to be difficult anyways for any player to deal with what Vinchester had to deal with. The question is now, what do we do? Do we push out, right, and then leave our base open to potential attacks from the Viper, and getting pikemen, that's important. Good. Get pikemen upgrade, that's important. Very good. Or do we go for some, do we stay at home and defend? Wait, who's making elephants? What? What? Battle elephant? Wow, okay, Viper actually going to go for battle elephants now. Well, if the Scorpions get rid of the spearmen, then battle elephants will do fine against archers. Archers, of course, not do that well against battle elephants, which have, still have 4 pierce armor and 270 HP. Jesus Christ. The knights, Vinchester, its army is in the field. The pikemen are nowhere here, and there is the knights on the gold and the wood line. Oh god. Knights are dying everywhere. Elephants making it to the DC, and Viper is making a statement here. I am the king of the desert, he says. I am the king of this freaking desert. As the crossbows go down, Vinchester's main army is getting hammered over here. So he makes it into the wood line though, but this DC, will it even stay up? Elephants have bonus damage versus buildings. It's 33 villagers for Vinchester. Oh god. The counterattack, and the counterattack isn't even killing something, and Vinchester says GG, congrats, and the Viper becomes the king of the desert once more after being ousted from the throne in the previous edition, has reclaimed the throne, and after taking the championship in Age of Empires 4, now returns right back to AoE2 to prove once again he is the dominant player there as well. The snake is on top of the world once more, and of course on top of his throne in the desert. And what a set it was. What a set it was. I mean, Vinchester played like a beast. This was not a stomp by any means of the world, but Viper, the deserved victorious player here. I mean, he must be so proud of himself right now. He must be delirious with happiness. I can only imagine. If you're probably watching the mainstream, you can probably see the expression on their faces. I can only imagine that must be fantastic. Wow, and also GG's to Vinchester, man. What a beast. He played so well, too. I mean, honestly, like, if Viper had a great year, I think Vinchester had a great year as well. Like, making it into Red Bull World 4 and 5, right? Making it into King of the Desert, and then also getting to the final two, the finals. This might be, definitely the best result in King of the Desert that Vinchester's ever had. And he deserves every bit of it. What a run he has had, man. He killed so many strong players, honestly. I mean, first was Kalsva, then Hera, then Yo, and then Leary, and now almost the Viper. I mean, not almost the Viper. Viper seemed a bit too strong there at the end, but man, did he make it competitive there? And going down against the best player in the world is nothing to be ashamed about. I bet he is very proud of himself, and I think Vinchester has definitely won a bunch of fans during this tournament. I bet he has definitely won a bunch of fans among the AoE2 community, and deservedly so. But yeah, the Viper there. The king has returned. The king has returned. The return of the king, as I should say. And with freaking elephants as well. What a statement. I mean, if Vinchester had massacred like 30 villagers there in the woodline, then he would have maybe continued playing. But yeah, it was not looking good for Vinchester anymore. Map generation did not benefit him at all. Going scouts didn't benefit him at all either. I mean, I like that he tried something out of the box, but against Khmer, you're basically playing into their hand. That's exactly what they wanted to be doing anyway. Spam light gap and knights. That's all they want to do. Yeah. Well, have a quick look at the statistics, and then I can imagine there's probably going to be some shenanigans going on at the main channel as well. Man. Well, but I mean, can I just say, thank you for all the tournament administrators, for all the players for playing their minds out, for Memb, of course, for hosting it, for Cartesini, for providing all the game IDs and administrating this tournament in such a nice fashion that was so nice to cast as well. It was really inviting, and I felt really welcome as well there. So I'm just happy about that. I want to express my thanks for that, and allowing me to cast it as well, because I had a blast, and I hope everyone who happened to stop by this tiny stream had a blast as well. So and also thank you guys as the viewers for showing up here while there is there's so many other big streams that you could be watching at the meantime. Like, I appreciate the hell of you guys, if you know that. Just saying.